of our demo stream of Chad and Liam's sort of vaguely lore-based color commentary.
Story
I
time
believe we
with
called it
Chad and
Yes.
Liam. I'm very proud of that name. We're gonna shout it from the rooftops.
Uh, it's funny. This isn't the first. This isn't my first story time even. I used to be fairly well known for doing quote unquote story times on 4chan, which I'm recognizing now is not something I should be owning up to.
Well, that's why we love you. We gotta tap into that epic storytelling. First, let me throw out some credit where credit is due. This map is from Cabaret, his Whip 12 map set for Tabletop Simulator. I believe it is called, let's see, Caravansary, and it's in the single layer maps. So if you like the map, that's where you can find it. And we're going to be using mostly 3D miniatures from the Vol SC 3D miniatures project that Vol SC spearheaded. So thank you for that, Vol. And lastly, of course, is it Why Rock No Die who created this created the Infinity app for Tabletop Simulator? I think so.
Ezreal did, and Wyrock took it over.
Okay, Azrael and Why Rock No Die. Thank you very much. None of this would be possible without you guys. All right, so tonight, we have the post-human Methuselah representing hard Aleph, and this is his orbital ship, the ASS California, the Aleph, deploying his troops. I like to think of Methuselah here. I think that's a very appropriate name for a combined army player. I think I like to imagine him as sort of the oldest post-human, perhaps. I think of him as
an Aleph player, you mean?
yes,
You said combined army.
oh, that's what my apologies. Yes, Aleph player. I imagine that Aleph was sort of like plumbing the depths of all of the various cubes that are stored that didn't have money to get Elhos and get resurrected, and came across Methuselah. I kind of imagine him as like a if you guys are familiar at all with The Expanse, the Miller, the investigator. I think Methuselah was probably some hardcore detective back in the day who was smarter than he should have been, and Aleph brought him back as an investigative unit. And we imagine the players are playing the mission Unmasking, and so we imagine at the moment that Methuselah has his investigative team has been focused in on these 3 suspected terrorists that you can see here and here and over here. And what they've discovered is that in fact they're not really suspected terrorists. They've been SSS'd by somebody, which in the Infinity lore means that somebody has messed with their Maya profiles to make them look like they've been interacting with dissidents or with ne'er-do-wells or with criminal syndicates. And it's generally something that usually interventors do just for chucks and giggles. They like to target fine upstanding citizens and do that to them just to draw the attention of Aleph. And Methuselah is smart enough to have discovered that no, in fact, these aren't actually suspected terrorists. This is some kind of a trap. But that doesn't mean he can't fall into it. He has to find out, what this trap is. He has to follow up. And so he's sent his investigative unit to intercept these suspected terrorists and determine who they really are. And lo and behold, as he has showed up, as his investigative team has showed up, expecting probably, some sort of nomad shenanigans, instead, he's up against a freaking bunch of obvious combined army camouflage here.
I do kind of love as well the it seems very appropriate for sort of an Aleph systems intelligence multi-boxing its way to the crime scene. That it's mostly an automated response. It's a whole bunch of like deployable robots popping, just popped off a ship.
Yeah, totally. Right, or popped off a ship, or perhaps just like popping up out of these, planters. Transformer style. We've got a couple of, air deployed antennas falling like little
Yeah, it's very
leaves
it's
to the
very,
ground.
It's very meat space antivirus.
And I reckon like these probots and these lawmeds, they're kind of doing, I imagine they're doing sort of crowd security,
Yeah.
They
Attention citizens.
Exactly.
Please clear the area.
Not you, suspected terrorists. You hold your ground.
Please proceed in orderly queues to the system cordon. There, your identification cards will be scanned. Although I guess it would be chips, because everyone's Maya'd up.
Oh, yeah. So they definitely know straight away that they've walked into a combined army trap, which is a bit of a shock, undoubtedly, because we in addition to the camo, we definitely have at least one Dotarazi here.
Mm-hmm.
And some taigas.
Yeah, I can get into the fiction on the Dotarazi later, because we'll see if they earn me talking about their fiction. It's extensive and really metal.
So what do you reckon the Gyro is here? You think he's an Umbra or a Shazvasti agent or maybe just a piece of the EI?
I was about to say, I think what Gyro is a piece of the EI, and I think we're about to see that Alpha Fork in action. And that would also very much underscore kind of the combined army as virus infecting these 3 compromised citizens, and Aleph as the automated threat response.
Well, to be clear, automated threat response, but with a human intelligence, just to make sure that they can't be totally predictable.
A sysop.
Yes. And for the sake of the audience, information that we do know is that Combined Army won the initiative roll and chose to go first. And they were rolling for a 17. So
down there coming to glass the planet to erase the evidence after the battle.
Basically.
That's a little macro scale for Infinity, but certainly the Caravansary, not long for this world, or not long for the asteroid it's probably set up on. Alright. Well, that actually does give me a good sort of opening. So this map is supposed to represent a Caravansary, and
okay, so I don't know, seeing.
Oh, cool. They've got table chatter going. I just got briefly distracted by it. But yeah, the Caravanserai, for those who are not familiar with sort of their role in the lore, is Hak Islam run kind of a naval empire in the setting. They have an extensive merchant navy and also the largest military navy.
Awesome. So I did not have that.
They basically just issue letters of marque to anyone who vaguely wants to shoot ship guns on their behalf, and to staff this absolutely massive navy, they have the caravanserai, which they're all around human space. They're in Hawk systems, but they're in everyone else's systems too. And Hawk will just take asteroids, just hollow them out, and basically slap like a shipyard and a mall in there, and call it good.
Nice. So this is the mall, and I imagine it's like the outer, the floor is probably the outer side of the asteroid, so it's like spin gravity or something like that.
Yeah, there's Eclipse Phase has a great if you've ever played it, Eclipse Phase is sort of a post-human RPG. And they've got a great term, which is quote-unquote the Reagan cylinder, which is absolutely what I imagine a caravansary is, which is for a Reagan cylinder, you just dig a cylinder into an asteroid, you stick retro rockets parallel to the sides of the cylinder, and just spin the fucker.
Nice, excellent. Well,
So
I
quick
went
gravity.
ahead and I muted Gyro and Meth so we could hear about the caravansary. I'm going to unmute them and see if how close they are.
That's my lesson for next time. Is I was getting a little spill over there, so I need to be quicker on the mute button.
I wonder which properties you bring. And now I have to be careful too, because even though you don't have strategos, you could potentially. Well, no, but if you deploy multiple arrows from the proxies on me, you have to take them one at a time because only one would be the active.
We're already in the meta game here.
Yeah, see, this is high level artificial intelligences going at each other right here.
Oh, there it is. There's my boy.
With a little piece of gyro just right inside him.
Then
Let's take a look at this beautiful model too.
Garbot.
Yes.
That'd be like the flash box. I mean, you couldn't get that confused at some point. Something.
Like, how the heck did he smuggle this into the caravansary? That's what I want to know. Like, I love the in Red Veil they brought in the what is it, the Alpha Seed as a porta potty.
Yeah, in a porta potty.
But I'm not sure how they got the avatar here.
Maybe in one of these cargo crates.
Yeah,
they've got
probably.
everywhere.
Probably. Like this one just opened up.
Yeah.
Boom.
And the avatar is, of course, a partitioned piece of the enhanced intelligence itself. Well, I guess it's the evolved intelligence. That's the thing about the EI is there's what, 3 of them, who are all in a civil war with each other. Not that they let the humans know that.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. That's pretty cool. So there isn't one EI.
There's multiple EI. Like one of them is in exile, but
Cool.
it's because each of them are
You
like
good?
failed versions
I'm
of
just,
the Prime.
Deliberating.
And wasn't there one that like the EI, like the first one that the Urs made, it just went up and it just
Yeah,
achieved.
so the deal with the EI is the Ur, the original species of the combined army, they achieved complete post-scarcity utopia. They had absolutely nothing else left societally to strive for. So they tasked an AI with, and in fact, I'm gonna real quick mute the other two. They tasked an AI with solving the heat death of the universe. Like basically, the only thing left standing between our civilization and endless utopia forever is the fact that the universe eventually must end. They tasked the EI specifically with learning how to become an entirely energy-based life form, or alternatively, how to transcend this plane of reality, essentially how to become a god. And the EI demanded incredible resources. They had to basically lay waste to their own planets to provide it with computing power. It drained a ton from their civilization. And at the end, it told them, "Look, guys, I'm sorry, but the secret to endless universal godhood is something that an AI can understand, but an organic being with a lifespan just can't ever. So, might be." And then it became space god and just left.
Peace out.
And that is why the combined army are this ludicrous, all-conquering military force now. Is that they test the second one? They modeled it off of the thought patterns of an organic. They were basically like, okay, you're the new one. You've got the same task as the last one, except you have to think like us, and you have to put it in terms that we can understand. And for millennia now, it's been going, I need more processing power. Can you take over that planet? I need more processing. Can you, how about that one? And as well, they kind of like, they deliberately try to poach civilizations with sufficiently advanced artificial intelligences, because any additional thought pattern is useful as far as solving the problem of the universe ending. And that's why Aleph is of such attraction to the combined army.
Yeah, so that's the big question. Would humanity be have drawn the combined army with such force if Aleph didn't exist?
Not originally, and of course that's also because the Toha threw us under the bus.
Yeah, of course they did. Those dirty Toha.
The only reason the combined army stumbled into human space in the first place is because the Toha pretended to be in our direction and went, oh, look at us, the Toha, the guys you're at war with, in this system definitely doesn't have other inhabited species. Oh, look at that, you ran into the humans, bye.
Worth it.
All right, so now I've gone ahead and I've unmuted again these guys now that Methuselah looks like he's getting ready to
see me from up here because we have crazy tall silhouettes now.
Deploy his post-humans.
Mm-hmm. Well, and furthermore, I think for the this is already a good indication that for the future we should maybe have like text cues for sort of phases where the players pop in.
That's what I have to play.
To,
so
say their hellos or provide a little context for their strategy.
Or just chaos.
Yeah, or just chaos. But either way, this is kind of a learning experience.
That's right.
I mean, this was obviously intended as a learning experience, and it's already kind of serving as that. Ah, God, the proxies. I hate these guys. They're so good.
So there's some question as to what Aleph is all about. That was an excellent description of the EI. I don't have nearly as much info on Aleph. I mean, you will notice
that is what Aleph wants.
That's exactly what Aleph wants. Because you'll notice that when I refer to Aleph, I refer to her as a her. In the lore, it's always referred to as an it, which is certainly more appropriate. But for whatever reason, in my own headcanon, I think of her as identifying as female. And I think that she
sounds right to me.
is thinks of herself as a mother, or like presents herself to humanity as sort of like a mother. But I imagine, and perhaps it's because I play too many nomads.
Did I deploy wrong or something?
That she really thinks.
No. I'm just thinking out loud. I was trying to figure out, if I could possibly be confusing these for troopers when they're actually mine, but they're all prone, so they've got to be real guys.
But I imagine that she thinks of herself as like a six-armed, whatever that, I don't know the name of it, but the Hindu six-armed female.
Oh, Shiva.
Is that Shiva?
Shiva's male, but like again, deities and all.
Yes, yeah. I think she's much more. She's much more.
So this is actually why I should phone back up on my lore, because if I recall correctly, Aleph actually has two avatars that it uses when it needs to present a human face.
Yes.
And, Adam and Amanda. I forget what the name.
Yeah, I can't remember their names either, but yes.
Yeah,
and
I'm fairly confident that Adam is the male one.
And they're huge stars in Pan-Oceania.
Yeah, they're these completely fictitious, like artificial humanoids.
Yes.
Who have been designed to be just sort of as like generically appealing celebrities as possible. Kind of like vat-grown Brad Pitt.
Yes, exactly. Well, and that's another reason why I think she identifies as a her. Like her, she's got she's got Brad Pitt as her poster child, right? Like, you know.
Oh, she did, Rosie?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to bone back up on the lore because it's killing me that I'm not remembering what female Aleph is named now. Because it does. Aleph does take 2 names. And that's, of course, not including the recreations. And it looks like... Is this our just repositioning here, or are we actually kicking off?
Oh, it looks like we're kicking off. This is the first impetuous order being taken by this Dotarazi, who, you know, I imagine he probably volunteered for this duty. What do you think, Liam?
Well, the Dotarazi absolutely volunteered for this duty. And oh man, now I'm gonna have to get in their damn lore. Which thankfully I remember better than the names of Aleph. So the Dotarazi are a religious order. They're basically monks. And they're specifically monks who belong to a church that preaches the values of close combat. It's basically the Church of Holy Melee, essentially. And the thing about the Morats is that
Church of Holy Melee. I love it.
There is actually like a name for it. Yeah, here we go. The Order of the Dotarazi Soldiers, founded in the Knife Renaissance, alternatively known as the Order of Dirty War. But they have a thing that they call the Baptism of Fire, which to be a Dotarazi, you have to go through some kind of grueling close combat ordeal, which apparently makes even the Morats squeamish. And it's important to note here that the Morats as a species are what humans would call psychopaths. They lack empathy. They don't group bond. Or rather they do group bond, but it's exclusively in the sense of factionalization and how do you benefit me. They're literally psychopath apes. And this means as well that they're not especially religious, because if nothing else, they're very practical.
Oh shoot! You know what?
Yeah. What's up?
I have not been I've not been streaming the game. I've been streaming our loaded screens. So my apologies to whoever's watching.
For our demo.
Yeah, but all we've seen so far, all that has happened is this Dotarazi has used its impetuous order and made an incredible smoke throw way out to there.
Yeah.
And now this Dotarazi has used its impetuous order and has made its smoke throw there. So you haven't missed much action, and you've been able to listen to Liam's excellent lore. So you haven't missed much.
Man,
it's all been good.
I haven't even gotten to the best part of the Dotarazi. So
all right.
The thing is, yeah, their whole holy order is kind of a joke because Morats don't believe in God. Because if nothing else, they're heavily rationalist. The reason it exists in this context is basically just so that they have a vague excuse to do hyper-violent melee combat. And the thing that makes a lot of other Morats really wary about the Dotarazi is they are fully integrated with their comm logs, which is the EI-like implant that lets you always be in contact with Machine God. And they offload like processing power to the EI to make them better at melee combat. So,
so they're like the Matrix Kung Fu learning.
Exactly. Think of it like you're like coordinating with a drone behind you. So when an enemy is moving where you couldn't possibly see them, your body just reacts faster than you even consciously recognize that they're there to rush them with an axe. So it's fully technologically integrated, extreme brutality, close quarters combat. And the Dotarazi are appropriately kind of considered freaks, even by the standards of other Morats. So doubtless these two did volunteer for this gig, because going up against the forces of Aleph gives them an opportunity to get into the only thing that matters, which is melee scrums.
So any arrows here? He's just gonna try to dodge. There's a little dance.
And it looks like we have the Taigas running up as well.
Yep, under the cover of the Dadarazi's smoke.
Mm-hmm. As I recall, these cute little guys are just indigenous beasties from one of the evolved intelligence's planets that were so cantankerous and mean that the EI just figured, might as well make attack dogs of them. So we've got a very kind of feral force protecting these triple S civilians here.
Move my guy to a
They're gonna have to be pretty self-certified not to question why they've got feral animals and like religious fanatics defending them.
Religious fanatical monkeys running right past them,
Totally certain of that.
choking in
If you want to reveal
smoke.
Take a pot shot at the Taiga. It's probably not the worst thing for me. So, going. In fact, I ought to have my choice of going left or right. I think about it. This should be equivalent.
And
Not safe here anyway.
got
so-
the Taiga pushing up. As I recall, this is a little bit of gameplay here.
That's the
Impetuous, you just now have to get closer to the enemy. You don't
Yeah.
have to.
Well, you have to
get
go.
as close as possible.
You have to go
So I
as
will,
you just have to go straight toward the enemy, the opposite board edge, I believe, as opposed to going toward.
try to go with order.
You can't bait them anymore.
Camo marker?
Oh, it looks like he's done with the impetuous, so he's moving out a
Yep.
mysterious camo token.
My tier
Yeah, we've got a lot of shimmering active camo moving up on the combined army side, revealing the fact that the Taigas and the Dadarazai
Sure.
are there not
try
just
to go with
literally
order,
as a
and
smoke screen to throw smoke, but
and, you know,
as a
millimeter and touch it.
sort of meat wall
Come
as
around.
well. They're the expendables,
See if I
and now the
can
real
destroy
combined army operatives are
something
moving.
And somebody's about to jack into the caravansary
I think that
system.
Gyro88 doesn't quite steep down. Now, if I were
They
to
can
come
make it
across
there.
here,
How's the Aleph cover fire looking?
No, I don't see him through there because of
I
the
think that the
speed
Aleph
combination
cover
of the
fire
rally
seems to be
and the,
pretty conservative at this point.
okay.
Although we do
So I'm gonna
have
basically
whatever
go to the
this is
console,
up here, although it is
here, and then I'm
prone.
gonna come one and
So
three,
yeah,
so
you're
I-
right. Aleph is taking this one conservatively.
to go to
Which
They
is
they
not
knew
the
it was a
worst.
trap. They didn't want to expose themselves to too much.
everything on my board. will
Well,
go
and that's been vindicated,
Yes.
particularly when the Avatar is taking the field.
All right. So it's a
Okay.
shrouded killer hacker device.
Slider on this thing is a little broken, but you know where I'm trying to be. So I think I get 2 dice on 16.
Jacking into the
Plus
caravansary
3 yes.
computer network, trying to determine which of these.
Last words, but if you get it.
I was gonna say.
Um,
I mean, but-
I will.
And
I will
indeed,
guess,
this is the specialty of the shrouded.
it's this one.
They're the
It
quintessential
is nice.
Shasvasti infiltrator.
Is it randomly? So
Their main job
Yeah.
in the combined
Well,
army
that's
is
defense.
actually not
Alright.
strictly combat.
even I don't know.
They're
How can
they're
I give
recon
it away?
and colonizers.
Okay.
Uh, Their main job is just to planet hop from planet to planet,
then I will just
finding
add
locations that are
the
sufficiently
order,
habitable
and
for
then
Shasvasti to
go
move in.
further
but of
down,
course,
so someone sees in the TR
They
box.
don't discriminate
Correct.
if there are
Just gonna keep going,
already
and
sentient species inhabiting that space, and that is where that big gun in Shrouded's hand comes in.
Actually, wait.
Their combat suits are described with the absolute technobabble of superimposed fabric layers of sensitive bioquantronic
I
textiles.
guess I should.
They're basically they're wearing a living thing that cloaks them.
Oh,
Kinda like
nice.
if you, kind of like if you wore if you like cloned a chameleon to be the size and shape of a suit, and then wore it, or or an octopus.
And his first data breach, he thought he found somebody, but it turned out that it was just a just a random cultist leader, as opposed to, whatever he's looking for from Aleph.
I think he's looking for patsies of Aleph,
Crowded
ways
will
that he can
just
get into the Aleph system.
Go prone. He will sit in the spot that's just half the line that connects this corner, or actually, sorry, this corner.
Although that Shrouded's going to be,
The circle, just so he can't.
he's approaching the flash spot. We'll see if he wants to push for that.
And then,
Right now it looks like the Combiner themselves kind of holding their advance.
I'm sorry, which one? It is that one.
Oh, he found it.
Not the one I wanted it to be, but
Yep.
it was that one. So.
The Combined have located the admin who has access to the Aleph mainframes in this sector.
So now they
And
just
they
have
know
to
that they
kill
need
her
to
and
take
take
her
her
out.
cube.
Yep.
And with that knowledge, the big boy starts
Yeah.
moving.
Well, of course, the Combined Army has detected the scent of Aleph, and so the Avatar himself is moving out.
Oh, and a surprise move. He's kidnapping one of the suspected terrorists.
Oh, that's clever. He's picking him up and moving him to safety.
Come with me if you want to live.
The question, though, is this the real one? Or is this a psyop?
That's right.
These are,
This is
these-
high
these are
level
both-
EI mental.
It doesn't really matter, actually. Basically, just gonna move to the edge of the TR box line of fire. Wherever that is.
Interesting. He's pulling it back into the
And then dodge.
TR bot.
Okay.
Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe he wasn't synchronizing the civilian. I thought that he was.
This guy will try to dodge from where you were, I guess. I think I
Although that would have been a hell of a move.
It's a power play.
Then
Yep.
I'll go ahead and convert the
But perhaps showing too much too early.
Yeah, perhaps.
So this guy.
We do have a Taiga who's making a run on.
Over here, in case it matters.
Oh goodness, it can move quickly, can't it?
Getting ready to
That is
kill
a-
kill
that is
the
a-
I don't
target.
think this guy will do anything, right? Because he is.
That is a bad way for
So-
for anyone, including an Aleph dupe, to
Sure,
go
this guy
out
will dodge.
getting mauled by a
does that make sense?
feral
This guy will
Harvard
flash
beast.
you. My tier bot will try to shoot you.
Especially in a future that normally is very tactical and
I don't
very
think I
pretty
can
little
also do
headshot.
The TR box is alone to be sufficient.
Yeah, she's
Okay, I can't see.
she's bred in the El host vats, not for
The,
her
I think you said.
Yeah.
not
correct.
for her
Okay,
fighting
okay,
prowess.
Okay.
Here's my CC roll.
Here's my dodge.
CC rolls are going out. Oh goodness.
Okay, 3, so I get out of there. But here is my save. What is it? DA?
It's double action, yeah, damage 13. No.
Oh.
And unless she
Let's
rolls
not take
incredibly,
off
she's about to
on
get
yourself.
Nope,
torn
she is
apart.
done. Aleph
Cool.
now has the cube is now in the digestive
Here's a TR
system
shot.
of this Taiga.
Taiga, yeah. That's one way to retrieve the target.
So that's 3 hits.
But at least Aleph
If
is
it's good
getting
range,
a little.
it's
They're getting a little.
Revenge.
Yeah, a little revenge with that TR bot. It
Flash shot
fills
doesn't matter,
the
but hits
fills
you.
the Taiga full of holes, but not enough time to save that poor network security operative.
Okay.
Now the question was, is she an L host
Very
or
good.
was she just a human brainwashed by Aleph to serve her?
I'm going to go ahead and spend the irregular Tiger 4.
That is a good question. I actually didn't catch that.
You know, I think she was a Pano operative who sort of like loves. Oh, now we've got. Now he's removing the evidence.
This is a mine,
Oh goodness.
and I think I'll let
Well,
mine
and we're seeing
see
here
what
the
happens.
ability of the Datarazai
this guy
working in
will-
tandem with the Taiga creatures. It's a very, funnily enough, a very low
Shoot you
tech
with this
offensive
pistol.
from the
in case you
a
somehow survives.
combination of
I don't think anything else
a
sees
combination
you,
of
and I don't
smoke
want to do anything
grenades
else, so
and
that's what it is.
feral hunting dogs to tear into these important civilians. A brutal offensive.
Okay. So
And
this,
of course, all of it a mask for the shrouded to
unconscious.
push up and make some lucky guesses.
And targets cannot be doctored, is that right?
they can.
Can, okay.
The players have just been chatting
Has to do
about
with the
whether
wording,
targets can be doctored, and in
doctored.
fact they can. So the second charging
Right,
thief
so,
has been killed by
Very
a
likely
mine.
that happen.
It merely wounded its
Suspend,
target rather than
regular
killing
order on the
her.
Avatar.
Oh, now here comes the big boy.
Declare first short
Mhm.
skill synchronized.
The Avatar is going to right a few wrongs that were
I
made.
assume there's no arrows.
Although the
so
question
where
is
do I wanna go?
the Avatar going to go up against the concentrated fire of the TR bot?
Well, he did say synchronize, so I think the original plan that I thought he was doing, he's doing now, which is to try and grab one of these civilians. But we'll see. And in the chat, Hogbot just
Actually, if you don't mind,
mentioned that Aleph is
coordinate.
greater than Mom.
Can
So
you sync while you're
think
fizzling
that,
this, right? No, you can't.
I
You
think
can't do
certain that I think that is a
coordinated sync, that's
demonstration
where it
of where Aleph is seen and how well she's done to brainwash or hoodwink most of the human sphere.
He'll synchronize, and he will go to.
And welcome, Hogbot. I hope that you enjoy watching us.
Oh, that's over in the Twitch chat. Man, I'm gonna have to get used to this. You've missed me misremembering Aleph lore and remembering my combined army lore a little bit better.
And me just making up lore out of the blue.
Yeah. Just as good.
And I've got.
It is kind of funny to picture the Avatar synchronizing with these civs. I know that, of
anyways,
course,
he's
what
just
it's
going to
doing
go-
is, instructing them very affirmatively to get behind it. But I much prefer the idea that it's just using those ginormous four-fingered hands of it
Exactly.
to just pick them up like dolls.
And it's not like being moved, it's just being tossed. Over there.
Please take cover. Squelch. Ow!
So let's go back here.
I've lost track of the action. There we go.
Meanwhile, suspected terrorist number 1.
It is
so
just it threw. It looks like it's throwing him into the door there.
shot. But we'll still.
Oh no! It's pulling him back is what's happening. And another move should do it, and that very important sieve will be safely extracted.
But again, the big question is like these are high level artificial intelligences. Is this a bluff?
Exactly, and
Yeah,
I
yeah, no,
do
you're good.
wonder. I do wonder whether the
Are they
EI
not doing-
avatar isn't using its obvious threat projection and its
Like what's the name of that
it's-
Sicilian and the
yeah.
Princess Bride? That's what's going on here.
Then
oh god, the whole scene
Yeah.
with the battle of Vizini, I think it was. Vizini, Fezzik, and Inigo. Who of course
That you would like me to think that.
yeah, who of course ends up serving them both poison and then
Right.
drinking and dying.
so now that I've declared the synchronized civilian skill and got him in drink, can I participate in the coordinated order or no?
You can't voluntarily break the sync. So if you move out of 8, you'll break it.
as long as he's
I
synchronized.
do
he can.
wonder if
Correct.
Okay,
obviously
that makes
both
sense.
sides deployed fairly conservatively, and the combined army, of course, made some really clever plays there with the combination of the Dotterize Ice Smoke and the Taiga Beast
is
to
a little
push
bit
up.
better, though.
Like, that was an
But
absolutely
smart play.
fabulous
The same thing
first
as-
turn for the Evolved Intelligence.
Pretty classy.
that
But
part
I
was
do
good. It's just the
wonder
order expenditures. Like,
The Avatar might have been well served
um,
trying to hammer on
no, I guess
Aleph's orders a little bit,
coordinating
because we
every
will
order
see
with
the
him, so
full
there's no
might
way
of an
to-
AI angered coming
Okay.
in on turn 2.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the big question.
so-
Is Aleph gonna have? I mean, this was just an investigative
order
force, right?
on-
Coming to deal with some dirty nomad
the
suspected
Avatar.
terrorists, and lo and behold, they run into an avatar.
Buddy.
Are they gonna have the firepower to be able to take it down?
We'll go.
Or maybe
Spidey's making
maybe in
friends.
Aleph fashion, they don't need to take it down. Maybe they figure out a
Um,
way to achieve their objectives without dealing with it.
It's true, and it is sort of the nature of the Avatar that naturally it is the
Himself wants to go.
it is the evolved intelligence itself taking the battlefield, and that gives it a great sense of importance. But the Avatar may not necessarily be the most important tool on the battlefield.
That's true. You never know.
After all, right now, if the evolved intelligence takes this one away, it will be due to the thankless hard work of those sacrificial taiga beasts.
But I'm sure that the Dotarazi will take all credit for it. Although
Well,
they're
for the-
probably frustrated that they weren't the ones given the killing blow. There's probably
That's
some
true.
deep harbored resentment.
That the kills were given to literal animals that
Yes.
cannot possibly understand the joy of killing someone in melee combat.
Precisely.
After all, is it really melee combat if you're not consciously aware of the sentient being with thoughts and feelings that you've just ended? I think any Morat worth his salt would argue that no, without suffering, killing has no purpose.
A little more, just to make sure I'm getting a little bit of a lane from the middle as well.
Oh,
You
okay,
have to
cool.
give them points. One of the
And,
rare
and I just
few
wanna make sure I see a little bit
obviously evil Infinity
plenty of
factions.
movement, so it's just a matter of
Sure.
position.
Yep.
Although one could make the argument that there aren't
I'm
that
not seeing
there
any
aren't that
impact
few
temples, right?
obviously evil Infinity factions. There are just very few
Correct.
obviously good ones.
True.
Okay, so yeah, this position should be okay.
Well, that is very true.
Okay, so
Even
if there's
even
no arrows
Hawk,
there,
who are
then
arguably
we
the
will,
goodest
just-
faction, still have legalized debt slavery.
So
So,
there,
it's on a spectrum.
we'll go to the hedge 1.5. And,
He actually synced 2 civilians.
Uh, so it doesn't necessarily need to be a bluff here.
No. Although that's like a high level bluff. If
Yeah, if it's the third civilian sitting behind this sculpture over here.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, another order on the Avatar team. Basically just gonna
Avatar's
move.
continuing to do the fairly unglamorous work of escorting these civilians.
Herding
Uh,
cats. Fucking
yeah,
humans.
I'm-
It's probably thinking to itself, these fucking humans.
Or
What the
and
hell?
there's no arrows, but it's not.
I'm actually kind of surprised to see
Yep, no,
to see the
correct.
very face of
Here.
the evolved
Gonna
intelligence
go.
itself doing this kind of grunt work. Obviously, it's very
And-
necessary technical battlefield work, and it is protecting its own. The evolved intelligence, of course, cares for all of its subjects. It typically
Well, he
tends to think
started
a little more macro
here.
than just saving 2 human lives.
He's just gonna go over
Good
here,
guy
and
evolved
then
intelligence
go
is where I'm going with this.
That's
Really?
right. Yeah, we're talking about good guy factions. The evolved intelligence is the good guy
Yeah.
faction, right?
Yeah, it's evolved intelligence is really showing off some good optics here. The the all-powerful god AI that cares.
They'll both tuck in back here. Whatever.
Unless, of course, this is just a double bluff and it's trying to distract from the fact that the third civilian is the real one. Is the one who has the sepsitorized intel.
Okay, used all my orders, not killing you, and that's not really ideal. So I will spend the regular order for Liberto.
Giving away that it's a Libertos. Even though it was obvious to everybody since it's camouflage 0.
I do tend to find that level of honesty can be refreshing.
Well,
I
you know that
it's
again.
not-
The EI is cares about humanity.
Uh-huh. Yeah. The all-powerful artificial god that gives you dental, makes sure that
That's
make sure that you always have therapeutic resources if you need someone to talk to, because there's an EI comm log in your brain stem and it can in fact talk to you at any time.
Oh my gosh, how much processing power do you figure that gets shaved off from the search for transcendence to talk to, you know, preteen Dotarazi or preteen Morats struggling with their identity?
Dotarazi is going to go
I'm just thinking,
over there.
I can never live up to my parents' capacity for crushing and meaningless violence.
This Dotarazi is going to basically
I haven't even committed one war crime. One! And I'm already 17.
Guess I can't actually hop down that prone. The second one, so he'll have to go back to where he started, I guess. No, I don't. Totally love that.
Although it is a little quirk of Morat biology and culture that all Morats are born twins and become only children.
Oh,
And
nice.
I will. That is actually an element of the Morat lore, and I'll leave it to your imagination for how that happens.
Outstanding.
That's fine for now.
So every
And
Morat
then
child
the
has
Shrouded
killed.
Fourth member. The
That's right.
Shrouded will
Yes.
here. The body might be before.
The
Yeah,
Shrouded
all of
is
that.
making the smart choice here and moving away from the console. Of course, the
Moving
Shasvasti
Shrouded
Continuum
forward.
does more than
Corner
anything
here.
value the capacity to survive and
Razi
reproduce of its
will-
members. So it is very fitting that the Shasvasti would do his job, punch in the codes, and then hide in a bush.
All right, so Liam, I'm gonna leave you to go to the restroom before the turn changes, but I will be right back as they continue.
Excellent, and I will be here for continued color commentary.
Let's see.
Well, I will take this opportunity to fill up a glass of water.
Back up to here, so I can do that. So that is what it is. This Dotarazi is going to go back in his stand just outside the building. He's a good drone. He's good where he is. Couple things left. I will send an order to recount the Shrouded. And we'll send the irregular of this Taiga to run up in here and second drone. then the pit go. Sure, if I want to do it. Somebody wants to donate order two. So he will just he'll just spend his order to move back to this spot.
All right, I'm back. I apologize for my absence.
And yeah.
No
that'll make it.
worries.
So-
Combined Army
All right.
here is
Perfect
your turn.
timing.
yeah, they
You
play
are-
this very conservatively.
Well, you got a lot of points,
more
and that's
falling
it
back, a
matters
lot more
more.
taking
Oh, there's
windows.
lights in this room. Check that out. That's neat.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
it is,
two Tigers
it's,
died on
perhaps I
your
was
turn,
thinking too
doing
much
what
in the
they do
Morat
best.
headspace, and I
You
should have been
got
thinking
nothing
more in
in
the
this building
Shasvasti
except
headspace.
maybe
Because the
the
combined
guy
army
there.
were being, despite the
This
brutality
building,
of the
this
tiger
building,
creatures, they were being
Take
very
over.
efficient.
Maybe you're not deferred.
That's true. They were very, yeah, right. Very Shasvasti-esque.
To a drop troop next turn.
They
Don't
did.
know. I'm gonna do it here.
They
Smoke
got
break, that's
in.
okay?
They did the job. They pulled back.
Also, the stun on this tiger goes away.
Right, do you have any doctors that I can see? Or medics? Any paramedics?
I do not.
Okay.
We have Aleph is
It's
asking
very important, however.
whether the
Okay.
combined have doctors,
You
and
have an avatar.
the famous Dr.
What do you wanna do
Worm
about
MD
Avatar?
is not
Nowhere to
on
be
site.
seen.
Frankly, so we're just gonna play it out the best way we know how.
So now Methuselah is going to
And I
have
don't
to
entirely
figure
know
out.
everything I'm gonna do, but I do know one thing that I need to do, and I'm gonna go ahead and flip this order to have this guy declare discover.
Here,
All right, we're already starting. The post-human is going. One of the post-humans, many proxies,
not sure
is
that
opening up with a discover
trying to shoot
on
back.
our.
Is gonna accomplish anything
Well, I was
anyway,
about to
so-
say,
Oh, it's on the,
Shasvasti, yeah.
Aha. It's on the
yeah.
impersonation level 2, which can only be one thing.
Well,
I will.
I was indeed about
the
to
hell?
say
Feature the gun rifle.
our
Oh,
Shasvasti.
you'll be plus 3 minus 6.
Sorry.
impersonator.
Sorry.
Although
I
it's
will
actually grief
dodge.
operator. Looks like
Both
I was
Roz
expecting it
and
was
Sophie against the Templar, that's what she
it was
tried to do.
not Sheskin. The other
Sure,
one.
I will shoot you. I will be surprised shooting you.
So here's my dodge.
And I'm
an 8
thinking
or something,
that
I guess.
Aleph is gonna mop this
Running
one up.
close.
The alien has realized that
Two hits.
its moments
Five
are
is
numbered,
dead.
and it has failed.
Oh,
to
it
die.
almost makes the armor cell.
You
Armor
have
almost
to.
protects him. But he
I
has
don't know.
revealed the
Shrouded.
post-human.
Shrouded, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The good
Cool.
time to reveal the post-human, though. I
Means
do
you're
sort of
liability.
like the
Okay,
post-human looking to the side,
let's go
just
back
being
to
like,
floor level 1. See
hey,
what's happening here.
"You don't
There's
look
Tyga.
like
Do I want to kill this guy? I do
you
want
don't
to
look
kill
like
this
an
guy.
immortal hyper-advanced cyborg." And
I
the
think it's
grief
Yeah,
operator
so-
is being,
so-
go anywhere, really.
Background info on post-humans is they are in fact humans. They're not artificial intelligences or functionaries the way that most of
No,
Aleph's
probably not
stuff
worth
is.
going anywhere.
Post-humans
I
are
think if I spy your
very
dude, you're just gonna shoot me with someone else. I'll just hide there.
advanced human beings. They're people who have proven
Cool,
themselves
cool, 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 cool.
before death, and Aleph, as a result, has as not really a reward because they're basically given it for the purpose of service, are granted immortality through their cubes by Aleph,
their
and
consciousness is fully digitized.
exactly their consciousness is fully digitized and it can bounce between various L-host bodies. These are not obviously the real human bodies. They're bodies created by Aleph for them to inhabit. So this one single consciousness is operating this body. Where are the other post-humans? Do we?
One's down in this corner right
Guys,
here
you're on the
behind
wrong
this
side of the map.
planter. And I bet you that we have
Hopefully,
another post-human.
it's not really on me
optic
because I
somewhere.
knew what you were doing.
hiding away.
And then additionally,
Then it,
Oh,
the
here's another proxy.
yeah. So additionally, so
So-
those three bodies are all being controlled by a single consciousness. And even if those 3 bodies are destroyed, the consciousness isn't destroyed. It can retreat into one of these data banks, one of these
Okay,
Imatron
here's what I'll do.
data
In
banks.
order pool 1,
Well,
that's
but of
camel
course,
marker.
there is a downside to the post-humans
We'll
being human. Is that
walk up
like
forward. Do not wanna
like
see
any
Avatar.
human, the post-human can't
Really
control
should be
more than
safer for
one
the
set of
And
eyes,
if I
ears, and
if I
limbs
say
at
we're
once.
to walk through that building,
It's
you would not
still
see me
it's
if I was
still
strong.
fundamentally
Okay, otherwise you would see
limited
me.
by
Okay.
having a human consciousness and perception.
So I'll move up to
So
where
those 3
Yeah,
bodies
in arrows.
can't move simultaneously.
Right, it has to jump
see.
between them.
Tiger's gonna
Mhm.
declare a dodge. because
Yeah,
he's got to.
whenever one is inhabited, the
Well, I guess
others
he could
go
delay.
into standby mode.
And we've got a
I'll delay. I will delay.
camo token moving up.
For that matter, so will everyone else. That matters.
I'm going to
I'm,
start another order.
I'm definitely
and
coming
crawl
away
up
from this
to
demo
C.
on, I really do need to bone up on the lore, because I really do
So
like
I'm
the
gonna do
idea
something else.
of
Just
just,
crawl up the-
you know, at least
Yeah, I think
for
you should
early,
One,
early
and then come
pushes
back
of this concept,
another inch.
just sort of giving people a little lesson of who
Tiger
these people
will,
are, what they're fighting for, as they go in.
Stretch
Just
it.
the lore of the of this world is
Okay.
so cool.
So this is
and
a
so the
functionary from
Tiger,
Aleph. This is a Naga, which is a created created
Tiger's just gonna go
artificial.
ahead and
It's
jingle
not a
you.
fully
Fair enough, okay.
independent
Here's my shot.
artificial intelligence, but it's a created one that inhabits a
Two
a
hits.
L-host body,
Probably dead Tiger.
combat,
Tiger.
you know,
Armor save.
made with subdermal armor
Unreal.
and camouflage,
I cannot fail guts. Okay,
and you can see from its stats that it's
I will spend an
better
order
than
on
human,
that guy.
basically.
I'm gonna try
Yeah,
to walk
you
around
can
your
think of
field
it
of
kind
view. I
of
don't think you
like
can see
a
that.
really advanced like
That's
video
just
game
fine.
AI.
That's right, there you go.
Movement of my vision
Yeah,
is-
uploaded
Perfect.
into a better than human body.
Oh,
And
thank
of course,
you for doing that.
the
That's much more
Nagas
helpful, so I will just
specifically
draw- I will
are
walk out the
built
window,
for Paradiso
so that
and
you can see.
Conocimiento
Oh wait,
jungle
sorry.
ops.
I was.
So that is very much the whole Matrix
Yeah, I can see
uploading
this
thing.
bit right here.
Like,
So
it's,
it's to the-
it's
to
just an
your right
artificial
of the
intelligence
lines that I can't
piloting
see.
a
Right,
better
I'm
than
just
human
gonna come
body
back
that's
to
just been
here
given
then,
kind of a
and,
smattering of all the skills that Aleph thinks it or rather he, because they're at least cognizant enough to have sort of genders and names.
Kind of in the back window.
That is sort of a cool little note
Okay,
about the
so I need to just
functionaries,
come
is
here.
that they do
stop
tend
there.
to have identities, like very
Arrows.
basic rote personalities, but of course
Yeah, my
their
pop outside
personalities
window.
are just kind of whatever would be useful. So in this
Two.
case, he's got
Do you
the
think you're gonna have
personality of a
to,
grizzled jungle operator,
go out
even though
and then up
he
the
probably
side?
stepped out of a
Out
vet.
kind of
He's never
perpendicular to
served
the
a
wall.
day in the jungle up to this point.
And unlike the
Like,
steel
I'm trying to
phalanx
block your
personalities,
shots out the
he
window and then-
he doesn't have
Yeah,
memories, right? He hasn't
that makes
grown
sense. It
up
looked like he was kinda
with
going like
with
that, but yeah, I think you got it
I
right.
see what
you know
Uh,
in an artificial world.
No, he doesn't.
He's just been
In
he's
fact,
just been programmed.
2.9.
one, and furthermore,
no,
despite
two.
this
am
Naga,
okay,
he's
actually,
part of a
right.
product line.
Can
So
you
despite
just put up,
having kind of a
put this
personality
over
and like
where
an
you
attitude,
stuff out?
if you put him in a room with another of himself, they're the same guy.
Yeah, it's just I'm gonna call him Dick, and he's
Yeah, I think so, Aaron.
there are lots of Dicks out there, but this is his Dick, and
Okay.
you know he makes sure.
Walk in here. Anything see me? I should ask. Well, I'm gonna declare a move, but let's see. Can anything see me if I can?
He makes sure
Is this
that
a
he
new
does
order
that
for
he
sure?
sets his product line. He
oh,
makes
you're
his
right.
product
sorry,
line
sorry.
proud.
Yeah, I'll have to be. So I was.
Well,
not sure
of
what
course,
I think.
we don't have an Asura here, but that's actually a fun little note about the Asuras. Is the Asuras, as
Oh,
part
no.
of their personality that is
Yeah, that's for
determined
sure.
to be like
Okay.
part of what is optimal for the elite super soldier unit, they're super arrogant. So all the Asuras are just
Okay,
insufferable.
perfect.
The
Nothing
Nagas
there,
are
so
a
I'm just
little
gonna come
more.
in
They're more kind of
to-
tack mill
You're right,
guy,
that has a
operator
problem as
operating,
well,
as far as
so
their like
that's
stock
why is
off
arrows
the
on it.
rack soldier personality.
I'll spend another one on this guy.
A lot of work going into Dick.
Don't touch the box.
Mm-hmm.
Methuselah
Well, we're
is
going in-
ordering him forward.
Yeah, Liberto can see there.
Well, and of course,
Hidden from
the
the
thing
avatar.
about Dick the Naga here
Further
is
down in the-
his product line is made to fight the
Channel
combined
marker,
army.
can't quite
This is
see.
literally his purpose that he's living
So,
out right here.
So there's like there's
Uh,
an odd level of like human
Okay.
satisfaction in his artificial
He's gonna.
soul.
Let me just think here.
If he can be said to have a soul. He did step out
Or
of
does it
a,
not
he,
differ
he,
one
or rather he was
Really?
turned off of a
I'm not sure you can see you.
an assembly line after all.
Let's see.
That's the thing about Aleph and
14
Combined Army
press the button.
especially, is
Bonus,
you talk
but
about the
probably
lore
get-
about them for any length of time, you start getting
Um,
into what counts as a human or what counts as a sentient
have
kind
an
of talk
Evo.
real fast.
And probably Aleph and the EI probably have an entirely different sense of that.
I'll pop a knock.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and a huge part of that is, of course, because the EI is so much more macro. I'm not even sure that the EI necessarily makes a distinction, because
Ooh,
remember that the
It looks like we've got somebody revealing.
I'll be touching that thing the whole time. Oh,
Oh! A Noctifer reveals.
it's not just you.
Poor Dick.
You won't, because I'll be touching this until I'm touching.
But I
not
think
for missile launcher, my
let's see.
bane. You killed me a lot of
Okay,
times.
Poor
didn't you?
Dick. But you know what? I
Well,
think
then,
that I think that Dick was hoping to
we'll run
reveal the
missile.
Noctifer.
Yeah, exactly. It is after all his purpose to fight the
We'll go ahead
combined
and take a
army.
pot shot with
So the
Shotgun.
Noctifers, in the same way, like I was talking that the Shrouded before, like obviously all Shasvasti are stealth operatives, but the Shrouded's also like a colonist and terraforming guy. Like the whole deal with the Shasvasti is survival and reproduction. They lay these huge egg clutches, and it's because their planet,
Okay,
broke.
let's
For lack of a better
Wait,
word,
wait,
their
wait.
planet broke.
You're really far away.
Their
Range
civilization
over
was on the
-12.
verge of extinction.
I could
And
shoot
they
over
see
till
the EI
great.
not as a
Could
conqueror,
dodge, you're
as
gonna
most of
be
the other
+2 or
subject
minus.
species
Could be on
see
a
the
9
EI,
against my
but they see
12.
it as
One
a
dice
savior,
against one dice. Also
because
not great, but
the EI
whatever.
found
Or I
them
could just
in
click
their
it and hope
time
it
of
miss.
direst need and annexed
Uh,
them when their species was going to go extinct.
Well, and I
but-
think that's probably, I think that's probably like this
But if you hit me and I
Libertos
miss,
over
then I
here
die,
has
and that's
probably
bad. So I'm gonna click
like
it.
learned
like, you
something
came here
from the
to this point.
Shasvasti, right? Like I like to think of this
I'll roll
Libertos over here as
Sure.
a particularly ooh, that's a bad roll for Dick the Naga. But I think this Libertos
box
is a particularly
no, I'm
like
gonna be on minus-
high-minded one
Yeah,
who who doesn't trust
Yeah.
Aleph. After all,
Here are
all
my
he's doing
3
is fighting
missile
for liberation from Panoceania on Varuna.
I was about to say
Doggy?
pretty
There's
easy for
Libertos,
a
too.
pretty easy for a Liberto to learn not to trust Aleph, given
Yes.
that Aleph is complicit in the oppression of
here.
his people
Who would you like to guess?
as a client species
Well,
of
you know, I'm pretty
Panoceania.
confident you picked the one that you
But
did it
to
real good and
finish what I was
whatnot.
saying about
You
the
have your guy with you,
Noctifers,
but I'm gonna go ahead and
there
guess this
has
guy
been
because
guys.
Naga's gonna die.
Is the deal with the Noctifers. Yes, they're stealth operatives, and this one's got a
Okay.
missile launcher. But their big thing is that they've been modified to live in basically any environment. And I'm sure that this one is already
Guess I'm
looking
gonna
about
try
the
and do another
caravansary,
thing.
deciding where he will hide his
One.
eggs.
So just as a recap, it appears that Dick
2.
somehow survived. I guess he's gone dogged. He somehow
gone,
survived the missile launch,
yeah.
and he has revealed that the Avatar has not been playing a double-blind game. This is in fact a decoy, a substiturized patsy of the combined army. It is not the terrorist agent that Aleph is looking for. Aleph and Methuselah is looking for. But it does need to be cleansed, right?
Okay.
It does need to be
I'll flip the border on
eradicated.
this guy back here.
Well, that is the thing about an AI is
Thank you.
it doesn't
sir.
really matter if it's a virus or if it's a virus or an error.
I'm pretty sure.
Both need to be debugged.
And here comes
Yeah,
another
I
another
think we've got
robot,
our-
another robot capable
Okay.
of
Put an order on this guy.
doing data searches.
Yep.
Five,
This is one of
and
our
your
debuggers moving
avatar
up now,
sees three,
and
right?
The line
the
is
thing
the one
about
that
the
connects
Aleph
to the corner
rebot
of the
is,
first line that you hit.
yes, I do believe
Okay,
it's a
I'm gonna
sensor
crawl
bot,
this then.
meaning that it can,
Let's see, are you
it's
seeing it?
uniquely
Yeah, you're
equipped
there.
to discover that shrouded
And then how
and
far is that
root
window
it out.
extend?
So the furthest
Look at
one
that!
is
Look at that
if-
model. What a great model.
gonna be like
Yeah, that's if it can get through though, because it's going to be coming under fire from the avatar.
Sorry, which
it
one?
seems.
This one is the furthest extent of that wedge.
You're like hitting the torch right now, so it's like
Oh,
too
sorry.
weird.
Like this.
Oh, that's too wide. Okay, I thought you just had a sliver there. Do you mind if I just do something different
That's fine.
and crawl? Okay, so
We have
go good here,
a couple
and then
take
that order
backsies
you
here,
will just
and that is of course
move up 6 into
what
the
gentlemen do
building,
if dice have not been rolled.
and then move again into.
Well, if dice have not been rolled and camo hasn't been revealed.
This guy.
I wasn't planning on it, truthfully, but
I'm just crafting
Um,
my second beer here
he'll flip an order to yes.
because
Move up to
as
this
part of
thing.
the greater Southwest meta
So that
of
you're,
Infinity, I've learned to conflate drinking with this
But
game.
he wants to do a
As
This-
yeah,
this
the
thing
American
that
Infinity
you
way,
do when it
right?
comes out.
Yeah,
I can't actually.
exactly. But
Okay.
especially the Southwest.
Yeah,
those
but come out, you'll
Utahns
see.
will drink you under the table.
Okay, and then arrows.
Actually, you'll have to scoot back just a hair because I can see with the avatar there.
We are
Okay.
having a negotiation of distance
So you
here
should be okay there.
regarding the Dale.
Sure.
So
Oh,
I
no
do think-
arrows to that.
I do think the
I will
robot is
censor.
trying to get into that sensor range to expose the Shasvasti.
Funny.
That's really what it seems like
Oh,
here.
Wow.
Classic.
Was that a sensor roll?
That
Okay.
Dallas from the factory.
God, I
Yeah.
suppose it was.
Well, you can't let them all.
Things are not.
I'll spend an order.
I mean,
on
luckily that
this
Naga survived, but I feel like
who is
Aleph
going
isn't
to
quite making the inroads at once.
move to here.
Dick the Naga is moving under fire
Yeah,
from
well, actually, he
the
doesn't see me there, so I'll
shrouded
try to
missile
scoot more.
launcher. The
Possible.
question is, will he
Oh, it doesn't matter,
just be
he's a dead
Hail
guy anyways.
Marying it on the subsidized decoy here?
Well, Dick knows that he's,
If
you
that's
know,
where
he's
going, then,
bleeding out
target goes up
fast.
to dodge.
He's not
That's
feeling any
true.
pain because he hasn't been programmed to feel pain. But he does have self-diagnostics.
And Roberto will shotgun you out of cover again.
So
He knows that, he
I
knows
will
that his
shoot
meat
this,
body isn't long for this.
correct.
Subsidize guy.
Okay,
Free him
so,
from the burden of subsidization.
He fails to dodge, so he might indeed be freed.
He gets it 3 times.
World.
He is
He's
dead.
not.
And Dick has made his life worth living.
Yeah,
Okay.
he has scored a hit,
And your
however meager,
missiles.
against the combined army
Oh, yeah,
of the
so
evolved
missile-
intelligence
Yeah,
by
well,
cleansing one of their patsies.
Probably enough, but a little bit.
He has been struck by a missile though, and
Yeah, this Noctifer deserves a name because he's hit twice with 6s, which is like,
Okay.
you know, the bane of
Order to
Noctifers
one.
is rolling 15s and 16s, and he has not done that.
Order pool 2.
oh, the thing about the
I will
Shasvastis,
put
I'm not
the
sure what their
proxy
naming
on camo.
conventions are. We got Sheskin. Do we have?
Okay.
Oh, that's
Well,
right. What are the naming conventions?
We've got Ida Swanson is a
It is?
a
I have other orders.
Shasvasti. Same with Victor
I will,
Messer is it? But
I will
of course
take
they're
the Trinity
that's the other thing about the
here.
Shasvasti is of course
Oh,
they completely
snap.
assimilate
I forgot that was a thing. Yep, go
to
for
the
it.
civilizations that they're a part
Yeah,
of.
B and Y's even, especially if I fail. But
Ooh, that was a badass play. So Methuselah put his, you know, the post-human unwisely decided to go back into camo, which allowed the Shasvasti to hack him through the repeater without an ARO,
Oh.
with it, you know,
Anything
for
that I
free
really wanna
essentially.
spend orders on.
And Methuselah got lucky
Oh, I
and
did better
missed.
play, but I just totally whipped on.
That was an excellent,
just totally
excellent
missed.
play.
That,
That would've been
that
amazing.
was
what I call fairly
Well,
solid.
those
like,
are, of course, the
but I missed it.
dirty tricks,
So,
very characteristic of the Shasvasti.
That's right. So what are we looking at here? He's short on.
kind of get in better position at this point.
Short on orders. He's only got about 3 left, maybe 4.
Oh no, the Liberto can go get that guy. Of course, Libertos. You always forget about.
Now here's the. Now
here's
this
the
is the
best,
less self-aware
so I'm missing my
Libertos,
regular
in
Liberto.
my opinion.
Just
like-
move up 4.
This is a classic example of Aleph playing both sides against the middle, right?
Oh, you actually don't-
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
because the biggest contributor
Clear a dodge
to
from
the
shroud
you know
for the first
finances of Aleph is Panoceania, which is the imperialist power that is
word.
subjugating the
Somebody else
Libertos.
had enough to do
And
it.
yet Aleph is perfectly happy to hire Libertos and, you know, quote unquote, pay the Libertos family whatever, you know, an extremely high
Virgin
wage,
activates again.
which in reality is just paying for the Libertos, you know, insurrection.
Well, and that is the beauty of the
I'm going
infinity
to
setting, is
Discover with my
you can
Liberto,
have mirror matches
play with
because
Noctifer,
all of these
Shrouded
factions are just
will,
neo-imperialist messes.
to dodge.
Here we have
I just want to see if I can get
both of
Icon
these
on fire,
helots
so I'm
are
not
just
gonna waste
trying
my
to
movement yet.
bring
Yeah.
home pay for the cause of
That's
throwing
right.
off the
Back
yoke.
to
But I do think the combined army one is a little bit more,
4,
has a little bit of a more logical.
Well, he's definitely
Approach.
got a reason to hate humanity.
Go
Yeah.
right for it, you know.
Okay, so Liberto Discover.
And we've got attempted discovers on this Liberto who's moving
Cool.
Thank
to
you very much. But,
wipe out the
and
Shrouded.
the,
He's just
Shrouded
been
dodge.
discovered by the other Liberto.
And a very interesting
Oh.
choice in Liberto's model.
Yeah, I was about to say that doesn't look like. Oh, that's
Look at
cute.
each other
Using
there,
the
but-
using the cat girl. Of course, the
Is that-
Libertos are.
Apparently, it's not using its money from Aleph to pay the cause. It's using it for, you know, self. It's using it for cosmetic surgery.
chimerization.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
long range for sure. You got what you needed to get though. So I'm gonna walk prone into you here. I might come into the thing prone and then come over to see you to try
Or
to.
alternatively, given that the
dissolve your cover.
Libertos are just sort of a stand-in
But I
for
don't think they're going to be able to get me out of cover just because.
for untrained guerrilla
Okay,
fighters.
then I will not go
And this is
prone.
an Aleph force, and we're using a
And
Chimera model
I'm
here.
gonna try to
Maybe she's just
yeah,
a nomad
take it.
dissident
I can't
who's
fix
been
fighters weird,
financed
but I'm
by
trying to
Aleph to
keep
try to
cover and
bring
kill
down
you.
the motherships.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aleph was, of course, expecting to be able to throw her life away against Tunguscan agents,
Yeah.
and was not
I'm just gonna use
expecting
the
the
gizmo to-
combined army in sight.
Right. Yeah. Aleph had Methuselah had this in mind of like, okay, we're gonna
And
that make that. I love that idea.
Stay touching that box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her purpose is to be thrown at and confuse nomads.
So yeah, the
Well, of course,
Shrouded
Aleph
will,
did mastermind the violent intermission, which was exactly
it's gonna
that.
dodge.
It was
Okay, so let's-
deep cover plants within Bakunin society revealed themselves and attempted to scuttle the mothership.
Well, the thing I love the most about that is that Aleph because Aleph is such a master of public opinion.
Avatar?
The thing
Oh, I
that
have
that
to see
that, the,
actually.
no, that drives the nomads out of their minds
Yeah, I guess.
is the fact that
I'm
they're the
going
only
down cover,
ones
so that's
who
fine.
know it happened. Aleph has successfully
Uh,
convinced everyone else that it was complete
I'll hit
nonsense
you with
made
a
up
hammer.
by the nomads.
Here's my dodge.
Yeah, they came inches away from annihilation at the hands of terrorists,
you and one.
and it doesn't exist in the history
Okay, so
books.
free save on the Shrouded first. The Shrouded, there's no cover.
And
Behind it.
that is it for the Shrouded.
He lived a good life though, man. And he doesn't even leave an egg sac. Sadly.
Well, and by the problem is by Shasvasti standards, that's
so
not
now
living a good
the-
life.
That's true.
he did a lot of work on the battlefield, but unlike the Morats, that's completely irrelevant to
Yeah.
Shasvasti. The Morat's purpose in life is to fight and to kill and to
Oh.
die. The Shasvasti's
Okay,
purpose
well, he's
in
still
life
alive
is
after
to
that
survive,
missile, so let's
failing
see what
that
happens
to
here.
reproduce.
No, not so much.
Okay. Still, trade it out.
That's his job. One order in order pool 1.
So
I should
alas,
move that guy safely.
The
I guess I can move this
our-
guy.
our
to the
disposable
center button. Do you
nomad
have anything?
could not even offer the Shasvasti that
Oh,
dignity.
so I'm just going to order my Shukra.
She did get
He's
pulsed
just
by
going
a
to
missile,
marginally
though,
improve his
so
space here. So he's going to go
she's
2.2,
the dead shrouded has been
1.8.
avenged by their species mate, the Noctifer.
Arrows.
And I'm actually recognizing that my using exclusively male pronouns for the Shasvasti there
Yeah, might
is
as well. Well, he doesn't really want to see
I'm not
corner.
entirely sure it's accurate.
wants
As
to
I
see
recall,
to-
I
they're-
believe they're non-gendered.
yeah,
He just wants
they're,
to
as I recall, they're hermaphroditic.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
They're all of them are capable of breeding with everyone else, and they only take they only take pronouns if they're impersonating members of a species who have a gender, e.g. Ida Swanson and Victor Messer.
So I like to
Uh,
think that that's genetically that they've genetically
enough in,
manipulated themselves to be
You
that.
killed two
Because
things in my turn.
to me, at
That is
least,
correct.
it makes sense that they would want everybody to be able to reproduce, right? Because that's
that is-
what their whole species is about.
That is exactly correct. The Shasvasti have they have
I think
no
you have
compunctions whatsoever
3
about
at least.
modifying themselves.
Plus you kill another one,
Like
so it's 4.
whereas
And
you
yours
know
is-
obviously to an Ariadne the idea of implanting a comm log
Yes,
is
and yours is
sort of
alive.
a violation, and it's this question
Oh,
of
right. Yeah.
obviously to a backwater Ariadne, a Los is not a person, and you know even like a Pano executive who's been that's the thing is I'm bringing up Eclipse phase again here. Anyone who isn't an Ariadne in the Infinity setting is what Eclipse phase would call a splicer. They're humans who have been modified in utero
Mhm.
to
Totally.
prevent
I would have had to counter deploy you
genetically
no matter what
occurring
you did. I would
diseases,
have had to.
and
But-
to
Yeah, that would have
even just for minor cosmetic purposes, like if
So
babies are not born in the Infinity setting with unsightly blemishes. In Pano and Yuching, that even goes a step further. In the hyperpowers, natural pregnancy is not a thing that happens anymore.
okay. So yeah,
Babies are
very clearly marked
babies
out
are
for
exclusively
this
test tube babies in
Okay,
those
he says the
societies,
Datarati if you
just
run
because it's
outside
more
the building,
convenient.
but where the Datarati
You know,
is
obviously they still have parents,
That's right.
but it's the parents contributing genetic material to the
So,
lab and getting a baby back.
Well, before
And the Shasvasti are sort of the logical extreme of that. Their species is so thoroughly modified that there isn't really a remnant of the original species left. But they don't even really consider they don't consider the concept of purity to be valuable, because that has nothing to do with the continuation of their culture.
That's not quite correct because I lost the shrouded, so I have to.
I'm putting myself into the mind of our, you know, U.S. Ariadne drinking.
There you
his,
go.
Drinking his Coca-Cola, just going.
It should be that, I believe.
Coca-Cola and Jack Daniels.
I want to just move the tiger as well.
So I think that the turn has flipped now, and we're the EI is considering its options.
So the AI still got
Still got a lot of orders.
Yeah.
Still got
it's well both AIs have appropriately really been playing for the civilians here, which is the objectively correct thing to do, and the EI got off to a good start, and it's really kind of castled up here. So this may be the combined army's day if they can just hold the line, really. But of course, in Infinity, the game of Rambos, holding the line may be easier said than done. The Avatar is, of course, big tool in the combined army's pocket in the waves to come. And I do think the question here is, are we going to see the combined army get aggressive? If I were the combined army right here, I'd be trying to work under the logic of the best defense is a good offense. If I cull my opponent's ability to come after me, then I don't really need to have the best defensive cordon.
So there's limited intel on EI Shard Gyro88, right? Like, he's really just a legend among a feared legend among the human sphere, but he is definitely not known for his lack of aggression. So we'll see if maybe that's false propaganda, or we'll see if he comes out with a hammer here.
We'll see if the Shard continues to justify his independence, or whether he will see reintegration and streamlining of consciousness after this battle.
Many good people at CC. He's on a box such that no one can get you in CC.
Got a little standoff here now between the
position happily on the box so you
and
can't
the
get
Zion Rebot.
Yep, fair enough. So.
So I see he flipped a impetuous order. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. Or maybe he flipped it saying he wasn't going to use it. We'll see.
The world is his oyster, or more accurately, the caravansary is his oyster, or whatever passes for oyster.
Well, it's a world, right? It's an artificial world. Meanwhile, I imagine that the Haqqislamite authorities are rather
just staying out of this
yeah.
one.
I think they were originally pissed off that Aleph, overreached its authority in their mind. But then as soon as the Avatar crawled out of that box, they were like, okay,
He will just throw some smoke out the
we'll
side
stand back.
from the point where he's just run into the building.
Well, that's the thing, is this is this isn't conquest. This is targeted aggression in a spy game. I think both sides know this.
Sure.
Of course, what Infinity models isn't sprawling battles. It's these hard and fast firefights. And each side here, they're not just fighting for the sake of fighting. They have a purpose.
Well, the Morats are fighting for the sake of fighting, but everybody else.
The Morats are fighting for the sake of fighting. That is, in fact, tautologically the only thing they believe in.
And your visual specialists that I can see are the engineer, Aleph, the
Yeah, I
hacker,
think we can just sort of assume that
and Dan himself.
in the event, when we get to turn 3, if there are any Dadaraj still standing, the rest of the combined army is going to pull out, but those guys are just kind of going to keep
Right.
going.
Yeah, exactly. They have no round trip ticket.
Yeah.
Right.
There weren't pods prepared for them.
I also have an engineer. I don't know if you called that. I have an engineer over here.
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Proxies are one giant specialist. But that's fine. I'm okay with you.
I think it's a pitched irony here that we have the Dadarazai looking up to the advertisement for the Miyamoto Musashi recreation. For truly.
Oh yeah. Know your enemy. Know his sword. I think that's a really cogent point. I think that this Dodarazi here is probably like thinking to himself, when this is over, I want to go into the Aristea ring against that guy.
Well, and of course, there's a great irony there of truly, can an artificial intelligence be a better swordsman than a fanatical martial artist monk? who has offloaded all of his autonomous nervous
Let's have
functions to an
attachment
artificial
on
intelligence.
I'm just gonna swing forward a hair. Just how far I can get while retaining cover to your TR bot. And then move them back.
The Avatar is
Okay.
taking pot shots
So
trying to
it's,
thin out
I don't really feel
the
like
Aleph forces.
All right.
outer range is -12 for me.
So the sentry gun
Let's
here,
see,
the
I'm
Zion
pretty much all the way
Rebot
up to
sentry
12,
gun,
So you can't outrange me here, for the most part. Because that would be, oh, is that right? 12, 32 is 40,
is
Six.
looking at
44. Something wrong with my math.
a
there.
machine like the
Thank you.
highest level of technology. He's sort of bog
I think you're
standard
closer to 4 inches, so I'm
technology,
gonna
human
shoot you.
sphere
Just look
technology
pretty good.
here.
And I'll shoot you, and then I want that doesn't
Yeah, the Avatar is the closest thing
I
there
don't
is
know
to
how far
a
up you
digital
can.
god. It's
As I came,
it's
as I
that
came as far
large
as I could.
because
Oh, you're
it needs that space to house an
so
intelligence.
+3,
so that,
-9,
and
so
even then, it's
on
merely a fragment of the true capacity of all intelligence.
Must
And of course, requires
4 and 1.
whole tithes
You
of
hit me 3
planets
times.
to be converted into processors.
Right.
Double unconscious.
And predictably, he shrugs away the Zion Rebot
I wanna
sentry
make
gun.
Sure I came back to my good position.
Well, he does have that armor denser than a tank's, and even that stuff that looks like muscle there. The Unidron and the Avatar, and all of those sort of like bioorganic looking combined army tech. It's basically mushrooms essentially. It's just like or like a tree. It's plant fiber that is aggressively grown in a, and I do love this term from the combined army fiction, learning farms.
Outstanding.
So they do literally grow those organic components. They grow them like plants, and then they kind of staple in all those inorganic metal components, which are of course the parts that have the intelligence in them. So the body has already got the fully grown nervous system, and it's just grafted in with the governing intelligence.
Out this way.
I do kind of like to imagine that the tail isn't just there to look cool and provide balance, but it literally just needs all that extra space for processing power.
Oh yeah, outstanding.
But here we have him, the Dadarazai, running out into the open under the Miyamoto Musashi billboard.
There's that down there.
Godspeed, Dadarazai.
Actually, you were right up. Okay.
You
Position 6.
crazy murderer.
Know your enemy. Know his sword.
I think the Dadarazai is about to introduce some robots to his sword.
Now, unfortunately, viewers, we have somehow lost the top of this building.
Yeah, try to go toward run.
But
Going to
this net rod and this camouflage token are not just hovering in the air. They're on a second story of this building here.
I do believe it's a state.
Oh, it's just a state? Okay. I was worried that it somehow
I
disappeared.
that just shifted the state.
Yes, thanks.
Demonstrate that they're up there on a balcony.
So we
You
do
are
know
correct.
that this is a post-human
do
hacker.
not.
Angry monkey.
Okay, so I think
Our
this is a
players, of course,
Caliban. You
shifted
need
it
to
right back
back up.
because I was
So I figured that
interfering
was
with their
a
gameplay.
Caliban is what I'm going with, or maybe an engineer. Oh, he's an engineer. That's why you back up in case Avatar goes down. I got you. Okay. I will spotlight your Deadrodzi, and I will
Interesting. We
dodge
have
with my.
the
Yeah.
hacker has revealed himself, and he's trying
I will
to mark
fix,
the Dadarazzi just to make it easier for other shooters to take down.
Yeah, I mean, Dadarazzi are so quick that they are hard to shoot.
Sitting on minus.
So
They
that,
are, it's
that
true.
makes sense.
I'm picky with it.
And they've got what is it, Kinematica? No,
Yeah.
they don't anymore.
Here's
They've
my
got
spotlight.
dodge +1 is what it is, or +1 inch rather.
Spotlight. Here's my dodge. 6 likely gets it. I think he's on 10.
Oh, I think he's going for the
Well,
for the specialist robot here.
Yes.
Try and prevent him
That
from
yep.
pressing the buttons.
That he is. He's throwing down the smoke grenade. He's admittedly looking at that Daleth rebot, that big mecha panther. If you're looking for something that the close combat guy would go, this would bring me prestige to kill.
That's right.
Through this way.
This Tadaraze is just living his best life hunting the mecha panther.
That's a great shot right there.
Yeah, it is.
Proxy will dodge. My Daleth will dodge slow. Sorry.
He's pushing through, and the robot's just trying to dodge away.
Let's see if he makes it.
Here's Proxy dodge. Daleth dodge. Nope. Oh, sorry.
The left did dodge, but the question is, will it be enough? Is that Tadaraze is coming for him?
Okay. Let me just grab his coordinates and I can move him up.
Our hacker is just falling down. Whoops.
And zoom too far. Okay.
We're just looking through the window here at this epic fight, which is not going to be very epic as the Tadaraze.
Big left.
The Tadaraze is going to eviscerate that bot.
So, order on the Dotarazi. You will just.
Yeah, Aleph did not design its delect for ultra violence, and the Tadaraze are of course Morats who have designed themselves for ultra violence. Not to say that every Morat isn't designed for ultra violence, because
He
as a
is going
species they are,
to
but the Dotaraze are
shoot
specifically
you.
the guys who
And that
exalt
is, and then my
close
Proxy.
combat as the only true gauge of violence.
Oh, good question. Can't be that good at plus ranges.
Of course, the other Morats do love to shoot them, so some civilians.
But whip I'll be
so
0
they
plus
consider
3
the
minus
Dotaraze
3. I'll
to
be at
be,
13.
kind
Yes,
of
I'll be
whack
plus
jobs.
6 minus 3. So I'll shoot you. It can't be.
The Rebot is desperately trying to
Right, so
shoot
I will
as the
CC
Dotaraze
with my
comes in,
flashing.
hoping to take him out of the picture before he closes in with
Okay.
that sword of his.
Oh, so I'm plus 6 minus 6, 1 11.
Terrible.
Womp,
Interesting.
womp, womp.
Gyro rolled quite poorly, but I think that
But it's good enough.
Double
yeah, it's
unconscious.
good enough, and the robot
Here's my,
is rolling on a 14,
Dodge.
so that 16 is a failure.
Good. So, sorry.
The shot goes wide, and the Dotarazi's sword crunches into that.
He basically somersaults in there,
Yeah.
ducking the
We don't
bullets,
get 1 inch, so he's
despite
unless I
the hacker trying to zero the robot
So I'm just
in.
gonna put him where he is. For both
And
dodges.
with that whole thing about the Dotarazi, like their their instincts being offloaded to their comm log, like so that the EI is choosing the most optimal routes for them. I've always kind of pictured the Dotarazi moving really unnervingly, like they
Non-organically.
yeah, exactly. They move like robots, even though they're humans, or well,
Or
Morats.
spend an order on the Dotarazi.
Yeah, exactly that. Like, and by the same token, they're not necessarily like looking at what they're reacting to, because it's just the AI onboarded on them, like taking in their senses.
Play. I
Like,
will
you think
spot
about
you.
the human body or the body of a humanoid. Like we're ridiculously inefficient. The front 2 bones in our arms will actually twist around each other whenever
Okay,
we
so that cancels
turn our
your-
wrists.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
we're a very
Actually,
dumbly
but the
designed
Necrod will take one.
species. The humanoid body is a kludge job.
and
And
he's-
so picturing a
he's gonna go
humanoid
prone.
body
Yes,
moving at
he's
maximum
prone.
efficiency, I think, would be deeply unnerving, and especially
ultimate
moving
is,
at maximum efficiency to kill people.
no,
Oh my
no.
God, this Imatron just lived the dream. Sorry to interrupt, but it survived
Yeah,
an armor
thank you guys
roll
for
and
that.
was able to go prone.
Let's see. Yeah, it's just the NWI and.
I'm not sure who's just
that
shot at
you
it, but
could do, but I was hoping I could get the nut rod really. That's the main thing.
guys sitting on a hatch?
Provided it's
Oh,
kind of
interesting.
sitting
We've
on
got a little
So
impasse
we're trying to
here
come up with
about
what would happen.
this is
You can't go
purely a
through
game
him, but
logic
let's say
thing.
you can see him
how
from the
to
bottom.
how to go up through a hatch when you have
Yeah, like,
a
climb
unit
up and
sitting on top of
disappear next
it.
to him, kind of? Or
I don't think you can move through him, but you can.
physically blocking? Okay. Could I enter
Yeah.
CC from
Something that's
underneath
interesting
then?
over here is we've got
Probably. I'll say yeah.
we've got our
That sounds right.
proxy engineer
Right, like if
in
he came
this
up-
building.
I'm not sure that's a worthwhile
What do you
play.
suppose this is up here? Another Naga? Or maybe another proxy?
I don't think there's a proxy with camo -3, but I could be wrong about that. I think it must be a Naga. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Well, it does mean that Aleph's got
Or
another...
no, it can't be a mine because it's prone. Yeah, I'm guessing it's another Naga.
Well, it's good to know that Aleph does have that opportunity to even the score a little bit. They were very blindsided by the combined army here. Loaded for bear against nomads.
That's right. Expecting Mobile Brigada and maybe some Grenzers or something. Not Mim -6, armor 9.
Or the better housing, he will move up to the doorway, just to the edge of where he sees doesn't see the flashlight.
Okay.
So maybe back a little bit from there.
So this is the
Dotterati
flash
is-
bot he's worried
yeah.
about
Sure.
seeing, I
I
think.
will spotlight you. But you know what? I'll dodge because I want to keep.
He is
moving.
really giving the Dotterati a glorious time in the sun, though.
He is. The Gyro88 shard has basically said, all right, Dotarazi, now is your time to shine.
Mm-hmm.
Go to it.
Just being no reason not to just use it right on up there.
And the Dotterati here are showing us why they are the most feared religious order in the combined army.
I wonder if there were 87 previous Gyro shards.
Gyros, I bet there were. After all, the combined army's been doing this for, what, about 2 millennia? So, like, only going through 86, like, yeah, that's hundreds of years for each one.
That's right.
Oh, to be this Dotterati.
To have such a fulfilling life. It's so short and yet so fulfilling.
Measuring from something you're not like.
Oh, especially if he notches himself a shukra today. This is an ugly situation for Aleph to be in.
So I might not go there.
To have a
Go.
roided up martial artist barreling into the back lines.
That happened right here.
Oh, interesting. I think he's second guessing that particular strategy.
And it's clearly the Gyro88 shard that is second guessing it, not the Dotarazi.
Yeah, I mean, if you gave the Dotterati the option, you'd just be going in a straight line.
I'll dodge with my proxy.
Thing.
He's going for the proxies instead, is what's happening here.
This guy.
Very satisfying.
And this is, I think we were talking earlier
Okay.
about not lacking
Oh, you know
for
what?
aggression.
Yeah,
and,
they can
I think
dodge.
this is
Great.
it.
Okay,
I
Yeah,
think it's-
indeed.
Here's proxy number 1.
The regular
So
forces
that's
of the
extra proxy mark
combined
2.
army, the
Here's
Dotterati
proxy
are of
mark
course
1.
regular by
That's,
rules, are
ambiguous.
they're sort of very cognizant of needing to protect these civilians. And
in order.
so the Dotterati,
Go
since they would have been
go
going up
like-
anyway, are being let off the chain to do what they do best. This proxy's about to have a very bad day.
There's a little slice where I can see the edge of your shooter's face. Like. Way by.
Oh, did
I
the
don't-
shooter
What?
successfully?
I think you missed it because the wheels on the bus. Let's see.
Did the shooter successfully dodge to be able to face?
Here.
No, I don't think he did. I think he's not facing him. So I think the Dotarazi is drawing his pistol and hoping to take a shot. We'll see.
Interesting.
Okay, you think it's enough? Go for it.
I think so.
Makes sense as long as he's en route.
Here's Overlords want to comment on.
Although, what
No,
an
go for it. It's fine.
what an
Yeah,
undignified.
if you see it,
Yeah, he's probably
Yeah, totally.
very upset
He's-
that he has to shoot instead
Yeah,
of.
so I'm just gonna,
Okay.
I'm gonna rock him this way.
Cool.
No,
I will
he's continuing
dodge
to
this
move.
proxy.
This is
I
good.
will
His
dodge
honor was
another
not
proxy.
sullied.
And I will dodge with this guy, and that is all.
Let's see, this is actually gonna be a terrible shot.
I don't think I've ever seen an avatar go this long without taking a shot.
I know, it's amazing.
Nothing, face contact, basically.
He forgoes, yeah. The Dotarazi
Okay.
just doesn't
So
even
this is his
deign
dodge?
to take. He reholsters his pistol.
11. Crits it. Here's the other proxy's dodge. 15 fails. Here's the Probot's dodge. Fails. But I'm going to just move into the corner.
So the proxy has managed to dodge away from the Dotarazi to give itself
I should have
At least a
a
shot.
few moments of life. Yeah,
shot
Well, it's got a nanopulsar.
that it does.
life.
It's got that opportunity to
the regular
drop the
order.
Dotarazi if it
You're
manages.
probably gonna nanopulse from me regardless. So I will. Well,
Dotarazi don't care. He's just gonna go. He's got to go for the kill. Come on, brother.
Did you clip the order for this?
I did.
Is it
Okay,
really a kill if
Yeah.
you're not ending a sapient consciousness?
Okay, that's a fair argument.
I think I did already.
But this is a post-human,
Cool.
so two more, or actually he has to kill all the Imitrons too, or not the Imitrons, the net rods.
Yeah, that's what we call bonus challenge.
Yeah.
Would be prone, that's fun.
This is
Yeah, that's fine.
well,
I will,
that is
yeah,
that
yeah,
is
I'll
the
see.
benefit of the Dotarazi is that they're not these aren't freshman level murderers. These are
Two
these are
saves?
MD level murderers.
Oh, I have to board.
These guys went to
Oh,
murder
put it to
school.
limbo.
and,
Okay, here's 2 saves.
They did quite well for themselves.
He's champion of champions.
Wow,
Oh my goodness!
that Aleph
Sword
subdermal
shot
armor.
offer.
Yeah,
Okay, so he takes 1 hit.
And my nanopulsar save.
This could be the end for our Rambo.
wow. The post-human. So what's the post-human's name? I think the post-human's name is Jennifer,
Yeah.
and she just
I wouldn't say it's for
absolutely
nothing. He feels
wrecked
a lot of
face.
self-esteem right now.
Just yeah, she hosed him down with nanobots, and they've begun to eat away at him right as the
Yeah.
right as the sword bounces off her.
It probably
Right.
sliced off one of her hands, you know.
Yeah.
But because she's not an actual person, she doesn't care.
Well, and that's also a little benefit to Aleph. If you've ever like paid attention to the Aleph guns, they're all just like completely stockless, and a lot of the models just hold them one-handed because of course they're all super strong. Like robots don't need to brace their rifles.
Let's see how we're looking at with okay, so that was a big
That was a
win
swing,
for
yeah.
that was a big swing for Aleph.
Well, and it wasn't just a big swing for Aleph in the sense of points, because the Dotarazi is of course a cheap trooper, but it was that he wasted all those orders
Yeah.
to get out there and not seal the deal.
Plus he's only got 1 turn left. But the best the most powerful unit in the universe is moving out
Is
now.
Is Oh, are we talking about Alberto? I thought you were
Yes,
saying the
indeed.
Avatar.
No, the Libertos.
The Liberto will drop a mine.
Oh, and of course.
Who's
the
who's
Alberto
absolutely
is-
disgusted that like his brethren was working for Aleph.
Or did box myself with it, actually.
Well, revolutionaries in the human sphere. They've got negotiable principles.
The fish boy. I love this model too, man.
Oh yeah, I love the fact that instead of he's got an air tank, but of course it's a water tank. because he's,
Exactly.
an aquatic species. Well, and of course the combined army is just stalling at this point. They're just stalling for time.
Yeah, and this
They
one
know-
is one of the Corvus Belli studio models that they provided. So I'm not sure who painted it, but it was one of the studio painters. Beautiful
Liberto
model.
is?
Yeah. Beautiful
That would
model.
that would explain the freehand on the tail there.
Did I lose you?
Let me go look at it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the fact that the Liberto's actually got skin patterning.
Will
And I assume that the patch on the back of his jacket is the Libertos freedom fighter patch.
or
Yeah, the insignia.
over
I wonder if he's trying to kill it straight to real dead. Ah, but he's got smoke in the way. Probably just trying to lay some mines.
to open.
Make a nuisance of himself. Libertos are so good at that.
If-
They've
if
made
I
a real
might-
nuisance of themselves to Pano.
If I might just briefly enthuse about mercenaries in Infinity, I do love that Infinity
spot you.
mercenaries like the Libertos just use guns found in the other factions because it sells the idea that all of these factions weaponry it's all on the open market.
Well, what I love,
Gotcha.
since we're talking about mercenaries, is they stopped doing this because nobody ever took them. But it was such a great flavor thing. Back in the old
No, you're
days,
still
the
winning, you're still winning,
Kempetai
you're okay.
was a mercenary
You're in such a
for
good
for
defensive
units
position.
not
You
because
killed two
back
guys who are
back when the
unconscious,
Japanese
as you guys
secessionist
died my turn.
army was actually the
Figure out my
Japanese
play before I start
sectorial
saying
army
anything or not.
and was a part of
Um,
Yu Qing. And of course they hated Yu Qing, but were forced to fight for them. The Kempetai were mercenaries that could be taken by every other faction. And they had a special
Yeah.
ability that allowed them to be impersonators and be impersonation level 2, but only against Yu Qing. So if you took the Kempetai as a mercenary and you happened to play against Yu Qing, they would impersonate for you and pretend to be loyal Yu Qing soldiers, but then turn on them, which was awesome.
That's great.
Okay, so he did get targeted, but he did, as I predicted, he's just laying some mines. And I guess the turn has shifted back to Aleph.
Let me tell you, this is Aleph's game to lose.
Okay,
They've still got a
in your
bunch of
states
orders.
phase,
Yeah, they
That
do.
that Dodarazi's Rambo run did not really dent Methuselah.
Shukra is actually
but
become
Importantly, it took out the closest specialist to the console.
Yeah, I was wondering if that might be
So
the case.
that's wasting.
Oh, look at that.
time.
The Shukra has revealed it is not a Shukra.
something's there's some points
Oh,
out here.
it's Patroclus.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm gonna spend
So
some time
Patroclus,
taking
you may
some-
remember from
two
the
orders
Iliad's
in one.
lore is Achilles' best friend, perhaps Achilles' lover,
That's wrong.
and he wore Achilles' armor and was murdered or was
I'll move
killed
over
while he was wearing Achilles' armor when the
this
Trojans all
flash
thought
ball
that he
spot
was
back
that he
here.
was Achilles.
this one.
And the
proxies.
recreation as a result, that Aleph created
So this flash profile is the only guy left.
now has holo projector, which means
So
that
he
he
can
can
wear
pretend-
anyone's armor.
He can wear anyone's armor, and he was pretending to be a Shukra, which is just
Cool.
sort of like a low-level lieutenant.
So let's do things.
And
Let's
in
do
fact,
Patrick
he's just a badass
Uh,
recreation of like an
I'm gonna
an
start
Iliad
with
hero
order.
here.
Yeah, an elite warrior.
Yeah. So that is a big time. Okay, that is interesting.
And that also
And I
makes
was
it
thinking
very an interesting call, because that could have been something that was learned much earlier.
Well, yeah, the Dotarazi's pistol shot,
Yeah.
even if it didn't kill him, would reveal him, right?
Yeah, or if he had to do anything,
Yeah.
he'd reveal.
And so here are three identical holo
so I'm gonna move up
projections,
to
and
the
Gyro88 shard doesn't know
line
which
of
one is
the-
real.
Well, and of
The
course,
Avatar will
I
never
bet
see
you
him,
one of
right?
those
But I
holo
can go
projections is going to run into the
his line
lines.
somewhere through
too.
For sure.
Guitars, line.
Set off the mine. That's the good call.
Okay, so, and then the Liberto's line is
So,
somewhere on this box.
so these are. So Patroclus is one of these Iliad
Cool, so I'm just gonna
heroes
come
that
up to
Aleph
the
has made.
confluence of those two
And what
spots.
happened is on Paradiso, when humanity first encountered the evolved intelligence, the combined army, they sort of panicked and allowed
send that over
Aleph to come to
on
Paradiso and start to help them
See
fight.
where I can go.
And Aleph was sort of
Go
shocked
right
and
up that
dismayed
window.
to discover that the EI
And then
was
just to go
basically able to predict her every move,
There.
because after all, she was an
Very
artificial
quick.
intelligence
this
just like the
might be
EI
the range of
was.
that mine as well,
Well,
so-
And
you-
she
you
realized
recall- yeah.
that she was too predictable, that like she would always do the right thing,
just 'cause
which
it's six.
wasn't necessarily the right thing
That gives the
because
range of that other
the
mine,
EI could predict it.
and then this
Yeah,
guy
and
was
so-
able to just
Dick the Naga earlier, who's
here.
identical to every other Dick the Naga.
Exactly.
So once the EI learns exactly what Dick the Naga will do in any
yeah,
given
I mean,
scenario,
both
it can
lines,
counter
right,
anything
that's
any
the
Naga does
first
ever.
one.
So as a result, Aleph began this program of
That's weird.
creating
Okay,
the
so
steel
he is going to
phalanx,
shoot you
which
with
are
a-
all these
oh, you know
super
what, I could've done that, but
soldiers
I'm
that
gonna shoot you
have
with a
that are
HP,
much more
and then use the
human
other two will go away.
than the typical
Okay, the H&G.
than a typical
Oh, yeah,
Aleph
sorry.
soldier.
Tricky. Yeah, I
And they
did that
actually
intentionally
have
'cause he can do that.
Entire childhoods and
They do.
entire pasts, because they quote unquote grow up in in an artificial world, in
Yeah,
in a
so,
computer simulation, so that and of course they're designed to be ultra aggressive, and the most aggressive is the hero Achilles, but I got to imagine the
It's a
Patroclus
nice shot as well.
is right up there with him.
That's right.
Well, and that's something I do kind of like about the steel phalanx, is that they're not recreations.
16s?
Like Miyamoto Musashi over on our billboard there, as well as like the Joan d'Arc in Pano and the Saladin in Hak Islam. Those are what are called recreations, which is that Aleph is creating an automaton, which is basically like a theme park version of a historical figure. But
Yes.
these guys are actually not theme park versions of historical
I'm gonna do
figures.
these
Like,
lines.
this Patroclus doesn't believe that he's literally the Patroclus from the Iliad, the way that Joan d'Arc believes
Right, he's
that
just
she
been
is
named
the
Patroclus because that's cool for the Myrmidon Wars TV show,
Okay,
and
just saying- he's
and
just saying
because
what he is.
it's like, okay, he kind of
don't think I can
reminds
actually-
Aleph of
Well, I guess
Patroclus.
if he gets back, yeah, I'll
And
try to get
exactly,
back.
and that's how the name scheme for the phalanx works.
You can go
is that
prone always.
in the
if you-
graduating
Go prone, but
classes
there's no reason to go
of
prone.
Myrmidon,
Sure.
if one of them
Totally
has
agree with you.
like, because they're all just
Okay.
in this
I'm gonna
endless
keep
war
on moving.
simulation growing up,
I'm gonna go
if one of them just happens to develop a
It's fine,
personality
up
that
5.
is kind of like, yeah, you kind of remind me of this mythical
thing, and you know what, I
hero,
might as well
then
just say,
congrats, you're being branded
Hey,
as a
just far
recreation
away
for
from
the
you as
TV
possible.
show.
Right.
Yeah,
And
so
and
that's-
the Myrmidon Wars TV show that we're
So I
referring
wanna-
to
sorry.
is,
Just one
as we'd
inch
mentioned,
up
Aleph
here,
is a master
5
at
inches,
at communications and media manipulation,
Arrows.
and she's created this television show called Myrmidon Wars. Well, I mean, it's not television, right? It's it's
Maya vision or
Maya
whatever.
vision, right?
Yeah, I'll shoot you from where I started.
But it's a massive success in Pan-Oceania, who all basically now
Oh,
worship
okay,
the
2 hits.
steel phalanx. Is a great
Uh,
propaganda tool
yeah.
for Aleph because it makes all of her soldiers seem like super badass awesome.
There's no one.
And there goes that Liberto.
Okay. I'm
Poor
gonna spend
guy
another
never
order
stood a
on
chance.
this
Not
guy.
against the
Just going
Shukra,
to
maybe. Not against.
Bounce into
Not
this,
against the
0.5.
Dracula.
5.5. Assuming I don't see anyone, I will back up with I am
Another
seeing people. I am seeing
outstanding
people, so I'm
model.
gonna
I don't
back
know
up.
who.
You should probably
Painted by.
Yeah.
Let's see who painted. Let's give proper
sit there.
props here.
His little LED.
Axel Castellan, yeah, he painted a lot of the Valis
I'm gonna
C
click that
3D
button.
models for Aleph. He's a great painter.
Oh, you suck so bad.
Great
Okay.
highlight.
Oh
work.
no!
I gotta go back. So
Oh, did
2.7
Dracula's
in.
fail
I
to
have
push the
enough room to
button?
go out and back.
Yeah,
this.
apparently so.
Okay.
Yeah, you can pretty much return to where you started, right?
Yeah, because he has to move 6. So try to click it again.
Poor guy.
There it goes.
There he goes.
I
We
will
got it.
guess the one nearest to the avatar.
How's that?
Oh my God! He just revealed the Shazvasti agent.
There it is.
Just like I
The
always
question
say.
is, can he
Okay, do I
get
have
to
orders?
it?
Do
If he
this.
gets to
6
it, he
orders.
could potentially win.
1.
That's a big if he gets.
That
to it,
is a
though.
big
Two.
if. Oh my
Yeah,
God!
Who knows?
Guarded
Methods
by an
for
avatar.
defenders.
Yeah, man, though. What Patroclus really wants is if he can get in a melee.
I will spend an
with
order.
the
I'm like just on
Avatar.
your line, right? So
Although he's also got a cube.
just.
Ooh,
wanna go
yeah,
as far as
that is
here.
dangerous. So the avatar
out there?
has what
Yep.
is called
And
Sepsitor,
have some smoke.
which is a way. It's voodoo technology that the EI, basically the human sphere. Is it just a lot? No, it's the human sphere calls it voodoo technology.
Yeah.
All the technology that the EI has that the human
Those martial
sphere
arts.
doesn't quite understand.
Yeah, and any technology which might as well be magic because we don't get the logic on which it works is
And-
voodoo tech.
And one of them is the Sepsitor,
And the one over
which, so all of the,
Let me
not
see
all
if I
of them,
can
but a
see
lot of
the
humanity, the most advanced
So, probably
societies in the
fine.
human sphere have cubes, which you can see here under painted by Axel Castillo. This is
Oh.
HI Cube 2.0. And that's where all your consciousness is stored, so that if you
16
die, you can
tiny
be
all these
resurrected
lands,
through your
so
cube. But what
there
the
it is.
EI has figured out how to do is to hack your cube to basically take over your
Now I
body.
could
And
get
that's
rid of
what
that
the
mine
Sepsitor
with
is.
2 orders.
And that's what
but
makes them
I
so
think
dangerous to
probably
the
best
super
to,
high-tech factions in the
Yeah.
human sphere.
Well, and
Is
part of what makes the Sepsitor so insidious is it's
Spend another
undetectable.
order.
As far
Right.
as
On
like
this
Aleph or anyone else is concerned, you just change your
go.
mind. You're
It's
hit
up
by
here. That's not
it.
even close to getting out of
Something
your
is
guys-
done
that
to your
guy's range, so
cube,
he's just gonna come
and
up to
you've
here.
just decided now that
Again, don't
that
really
you're,
see
you're really
if
down with the
possible.
EI and you really ideologically believe what it believes.
Okay.
and the reason that it says Cube 2.0 in this
Okay,
profile
sure.
is because most
Arrows.
in the human sphere just have a cube.
So the mine will
But the
explode.
problem that Aleph discovered when it started fighting the combined army and it started getting its units cubes sepsitorized is that was a way, that was a potential weakness of Aleph. Like that was a potential way for the EI to be able to hack into Mayanet, which is basically the internet of the human sphere, and potentially get to Aleph itself.
Okay, let's see.
Well,
if
So
this
the
is
Cube
my,
2.0 so Aleph turned all of its
fortunate.
operatives
Here's my armor
into
save.
Cube 2.0s so that it wouldn't get
That's good enough.
so that if it got hacked, if it got
Very
sepsitorized,
fortunate at that point.
it would
Patrick,
be
please. You'll kill your crowd.
protected
Next order.
from further
He's gonna
damage.
come this
Like
way, so he hits the choke, so that
Aleph
he never
itself
offsets
wouldn't be wouldn't be
You
vulnerable.
can do that like here.
Yeah, I was
So 3.6. He's
I was
2.4
just about to say
more.
there's
You
like
have
obviously
stealth,
the
not laser.
avatar. The whole reason the avatar exists is because the EI is able to move its own consciousness as data. And of
Move
course,
up till I'm
we're
just
looking at the
touching smoke.
post-humans, like,
Okay.
they're another example of technology that moves a consciousness as data. So there's such a great risk of
Patroclus,
if
do
the
us proud.
if the
I spent an
evolved
order and declared
intelligence's
dodge.
consciousness makes it into
Is this a new order?
the Aleph
I just spent an order,
database,
yes.
it could
Two
very
orders
well
like
be
after this.
game over for the human sphere.
Okay, dodge.
Hence,
So
Cube
yeah,
2.0.
you're baiting my arrows.
Although, oh
I have
man,
to
Patroclus is making a
add my
ballsy
dodge with
play
the
here.
avatar.
Yeah, and he's
of course,
dodging,
he
forcing the
has
avatar
to.
to ARO.
Let's see.
And he can't see Patroclus, so he can't sepsitorize him yet.
I will go ahead and declare dodge with the Caliban as well.
Oh, this is this is a dangerous opponent, even for Patroclus and CC.
Reasoning.
The Shasvasti, Caliban. And of course, something worth noting as well about the Noctifer, the Caliban, the Shrouded.
So,
All of those are names that humans give them. The Shasvasti don't really believe in assigning that kind of significance. Or if they do have a name for those units, they're just purely functional, colonizer or whatever. All of those illustrative names are us. That's us saying what the Shasvasti remind us of.
So Patroclus goes for it with his
because
second
he
skill.
left
He's
the
trying
second
to
short,
get into
that wasn't
close
that
combat with
bad.
the avatar.
Right, correct.
So use the avatar first.
This is a big roll to see if the avatar. Oh, he does dodge.
And I've got
Caliban will fail.
But if that 19 is Patroclus, then I dare say that's a
so
crit.
the avatar succeeds. which is
No, I think that was
important.
Patroclus's dodge because he declared a dodge and then a
Rolls are
move.
+1 first.
No.
It's annoying, actually.
So the avatar does escape with a
Um,
dodge.
How many orders do you have left on him?
2, I think.
2.
Yep.
And you're doing damage 15 explosive. DC.
Damage 15 explosive. Oh no.
Let's see if you, assuming you crit.
That
all
was
the
a
time,
was a clutch
Maybe
dodge
8
from the
saves.
avatar.
Oh, I think
15.
Because what happened is Patroclus dodged and then declared a move, and he moved into base on his second skill.
7.
The avatar declared a dodge, so now the avatar can move away from Patroclus.
Although, what's that explosive damage we're seeing?
He was just asking
There's
if
likely,
he was just asking to see where he would dodge to. I think.
so I think I would just barely survive on average, but I don't know if I want to.
Oh
risk
yes,
that.
I've listened in on our players here, and he's waiting
I'm going
what kind of
to-
damage will be done to him.
I think he's weighing the possible of sepsitorization versus the hit that he's going to take
Yeah, I will dodge with
if he
the
dodges.
avatar inches back this way, and just be a millimeter outside.
This is God.
So
this
the
is a duel
question
with
is,
the
does
d-
Patroclus go
little
for the
far
go
under
for the
the
HVT
standard
kill, or does he go for the
It's going
avatar
to,
kill?
Face you head on, I'm pretty sure.
I think that the avatar is
left.
blocking Patroclus from the HVT.
Wasn't really that
Look at how
Yeah.
much Combined Army cares about its human
So, yeah.
subjects.
exactly.
Face you. Well, I guess you got the movement to go around me no matter what, so I will shade a little bit upfield just so no one else can shoot me in the back from some random angle.
This is a hell of a David and Goliath moment here. Although obviously David is
Okay,
equipped with
well,
the
let me think
finest
about what I need to
nanotech
do
armor.
here.
That's
that-
right.
So you're gonna
It's like
sepsitorize.
That
subdermal
Aleph
armor.
can
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like Asura level.
Will just
He's only armor
Go.
3.
And there it is. There it is.
2.6
Patroclus is going for the HVT.
Oh no, yeah, he is.
and into base to base
Oh yes.
with
Movement.
this guy.
Patroclus is making the smart but
The
ugly
ultimate
play
sacrifice. That's gonna suck when he gets
I will
sepsitorized.
flash pulse.
Here.
I
yeah.
will. Wait, actually, wait.
Although, what's his willpower? How?
Pulls are from there,
What
you
are his
guys
chances
roll.
of making it out of
So,
that
It's definitely
sepsitorization?
dodging.
What is it? Isn't it a BTS save? I don't
Imatron will
remember. I
dodge
think it's a
0.
BTS save against the Avatar's willpower of
So the
17.
Imatron will.
But I could be wrong
which
about
is
that.
not
keep a
great.
lookout,
Yeah.
'cause it's the only useful thing you can do. So dodge, flash pulse, Sepsitor, and
Caliban doesn't even really want to kill Patroclus
God.
because it wants him to get sepsis.
Yeah,
Wait,
right.
I'm going to explode your guy in close combat.
and the Gyro88. I guess I missed it. Whatever.
As a little
So,
aside about the Caliban, I mentioned
my
earlier
dodge.
that the Shrouded was a colonizer,
Target?
and the Noctifier's like a hazardous hazardous
Like,
environment
yeah.
specialist.
Okay.
The Caliban is, after all,
So
it is named
close.
after
Okay.
the character from The Tempest, who is an evil
Sure.
savage.
Flash pulse.
These guys are Shasvasti, who are
We'll
specialized
go ahead and
for
make
combat, and
save.
among
Sure.
the many genetic
Damage
mods
17.
that they have is one that the
Doesn't matter.
humans are particularly
BTS
not
6.
fond of,
It's
which is
insane.
the
Wow.
ability.
So like you
Sorry to
like-
interrupt, but
What just
Patroclus
happened?
just saved against the
No.
Sepsitor.
I think the flash pulse puts you on 16.
Oh, good
You
man.
could have shot me back here. Yeah, you would have. So yeah. Okay.
Caliban dodge.
Okay, so here's the Caliban you were talking about.
Yeah, the final statement about the
saves all the
Caliban
flash
here
pulses.
is
Oh my god.
they
That's stupid.
they have
only
the
one thing that can
ability
happen
to
now.
metabolize and immediately
Uh,
replace lost
Bunch of
tissue
nonsense.
by
Okay.
consuming protein, which means that
No.
if a Caliban needs
I was
an
fully
emergency boost
expecting him
to
to
heal
die,
itself,
or
it
you know,
will
to substitute.
cannibalize the dead,
Oh, I should have.
which has made
Nice.
them
I mean, I know
very,
you did.
very popular with
Still.
humans.
And explains away their what's that
Oh,
what's
and
that
I declared
ability
to
called?
look out, but I never
Protheon.
declared anyone to use it. You mind if I just
That is
do
what.
that?
Yep, that is what their Protheon
Okay,
is.
why not?
Mhm.
Like if you're thinking that the Protheon is like you know,
Man, that was
draining
the most
energy or like there's a
unluckiest play
green
of all time.
beam
You
or
gotta do
whatever,
it,
like
though.
no.
So much
At least in the
flavor.
case of
Okay.
the Caliban,
Yeah.
he's
So,
literally
well, the Caliban,
tearing
you can
in
see
with
those
those
dots,
jaws
so
of
let's
his.
see if
Yum, yum, yum,
He's-
yum, yum, yum.
And he's adapting, like he's eating parts of their memories and skills as he's doing that.
Kind of,
Good guys, the Caliban. Really earned the name.
he will just go.
Oh.
I think he did succeed on his dodge.
I just remembered
Gyro's-
that,
the gyro
all his
shard
attacks
is
are plus one
deciding
damage.
where he should dodge to here.
Forgot about
Well,
that.
and now this situation is
This
really
this is a shocking turn of developments. Patroclus not only survived the
What
sepsidorization,
is
he
dodge
apparently
plus
also
It's
succeeded
centimeters.
against
It's plus
the
inches.
the
I didn't check that.
flash
but I've seen it
pulses.
before.
So he's
Oh,
fully
you know what?
operational still.
Yeah.
yeah,
He was
and,
dodge plus 3 and dodge plus 2 inches.
which means that things are about to get
Right.
really ugly for
Okay.
the Avatar.
Yes.
BS attack plus 1 damage. Okay,
Although I,
no.
I think he only has one order left, so I doubt he can kill the
Man.
Avatar, and then and you know he'll probably get into
that's
base to
fair.
base, and then it'll be the Caliban's
Are you-
job to take care of him.
Am I good to spend my last order?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just gonna face Caliban. Like.
Wow, that Patroclus reveal was huge for
That was.
post-human
Cool.
Methuselah.
I'm gonna spend
Well,
an
and,
order.
and indeed, in my
this
enthusiasm about
guy
the lore, I really
to
should
walk
acknowledge
into your
here that
back arc.
Patroclus has just done what Patroclus does best, which is just these hyper-aggressive
I don't wanna see
devil
your
may
Caliban.
care pushes.
Oh, just shoot me. So I want to be hidden by your silhouette.
So the Avatar will CC because.
And yep, he's cracking his sword into the Avatar's back right now.
Okay. And everyone else?
Are you using stealth?
No. Good question.
Caliban will dodge. The Icodron will.
Gidron can't exactly
He
flash
will
pulse him here. He'll just
He
roll
might
over
be
at the
within
start of the turn.
flamethrower range.
But can he be flamethrowered without hitting?
Yeah, that's a question. I don't
last
know. I
suspected
don't remember
terrorist is
exactly
the
where
Avatar.
he was.
And
Yeah, goodness gracious, this evening of the ground between them has.
Yeah, it felt
now
like Combined
Soldier
Army was in
Avatar,
control
Dodge
this whole
Caliban,
game, but man, Patroclus.
flamethrower with the Echidron.
The real might of the Steel Phalanx
Oh, and,
there. And you know, the funny thing is, that's a situation where if he was Achilles, this would have played out much
Yeah,
more in the
so
Combined Army's
this
favor.
isn't that
because
competitive
if
a
he
game,
was
so I'll tell you,
Achilles,
you won't be able to hit me with a
then
flamethrower.
Gyro would have put a lot more effort
Because that was
into
only, like,
killing him.
I was
Right,
only point
exactly. It was the
something
hidden.
within 8,
It was the
and you won't be
hidden
able to get around
nature
your
of it.
Imatron.
You know.
Yeah,
You
it
still
was
hit me.
pretending to be
Well,
that
the template's 8.4
random
though.
Shukra
It's 8.2.
that really
But I
swung
would,
it.
we can
so
try,
that he could,
for sure.
well, he
We
could
did the
come out
measurement earlier, we
swinging.
know what it is.
Wearing the
and-
Shukra's
Okay,
armor.
I didn't take the measurement, but if,
Yeah.
if we're at a range,
No,
Okay, so-
it's definitely within 8 where I was.
And
over
you
here
just
somewhere,
know
wherever.
that this is
But I
making
think
it
you'll
into
be stuck
Myrmidon
around here.
Wars.
You will have to angle it such a way that I think you'll be out of luck.
Killing the secret Shasvasti
But you can
and
try.
wheeling
okay.
in to attack
Okay.
what is
and,
technically the evolved
Imatron
intelligence
can't do
itself
anything.
with his sword.
Caliban's dodging
Yep.
Avatar. So do I hit you and just hope that you fail on 3 6s? No, because you won't. So what I'll do is put a pulsar through your Avatar,
Oh,
hit your
a clever
Caliban, and a
move
pulsar
on his
on
part.
these guys.
Wow. Methuselah proving why the AI
here's
granted him
my,
immortality.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
Using the melee with the Avatar as a firing position for his pulsar.
let's see.
Patroclus is earning his he's earning his stripes as a
The
trickster
one thing
here.
that's
Really finicky in TTS.
better for almost everything. But
Let's look at it. I think that he. I'd be a little surprised if
Yeah,
he
I
doesn't
think
get
you're
him,
right.
but maybe he doesn't.
so gonna land.
Yeah, I was thinking that was outside of
Um,
range.
So I will CC you with the Avatar.
I was telling you because I thought maybe you want to do something else.
Yeah, I know. But,
Okay.
So that'll land. Dodge with the Caliban's kind of the important thing. Jeez, he fails.
Oof.
So pulsar save.
Bad luck for the
Caliban.
for.
Nice.
Oh, brushed it.
On
It
the
is-
Avatar.
Oh, but he's saved, so that's okay.
Good. Pulsar save on the Imatron.
That is the thing, the high and low rolls in
Yeah.
this game.
Oh,
you,
damn.
you gotta keep
Almost
them
picked up.
straight.
Imatron is unconscious.
And I think he gets the.
Um,
Oh no, he's still a suspected terrorist. He hasn't revealed him, so
Yep,
he can't
he
kill him.
can't be targeted.
Imatron
Yeah,
as well.
Tron
He's plus
BTS
one
6,
damage,
so
so.
he's okay.
Yeah, but he's got BTS 6.
Oh, wonderful. Dang, I really want to kill that Caliban because I figured if I can kill him, you're kind of stuck for getting me. You have some. You'd have to run your Taiga over, and Taiga could do it, I guess, but less likely than your Caliban for sure.
Yeah.
I have one order left, and I'm
you-
the only thing.
Did you,
Yeah, I failed. I rolled a
Took a wound.
14, and he took a wound.
it's double action.
Oh, from the Avatar?
Yeah.
I did not know he had double action plus combat weapon. I misplayed this. I thought he only had a single CC, and I was like, he won't kill me. Well, now he might. He does. I really
Oof.
misplayed that. I thought he only had a
The
single
Avatar
action.
just whomps
I say yes, yes,
Patroclus.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not sure how much difference it makes.
So that actually,
Eat up
yeah,
some orders. Oh, I would have
that,
CC'd
that
you.
was perhaps not as glamorous as Methuselah was
so I
hoping
took
for.
away an order.
But still, I mean, that was
Just
a
to-
hell of
just to,
hell of a run by Patroclus.
You know, try and sandbag you a
Well,
little bit.
absolutely,
Yeah, I
because
think
this
Pulsar was a better
puts
play, though.
the
Because now the
this puts it on the
Gyro88
con-
shard has only one turn left
Take, like,
before
orders.
the evacuation
Sure,
ships
but
launch.
I get a wound on you
Right,
for
so
the
he has to-
trade.
Whatever he does, he has to
And,
get done right now.
Cost you orders, I suppose. But yeah, it's not ideal, I guess. I'm just gonna move my
things have,
Lamed
things
up to
have
here
evened
with
out.
his
Yeah.
The
order.
equation is not looking quite so favoring anymore.
He is, he does have the superior force for the moment, but the trouble
and that's
is
my turn.
he's way in advance of combined army forces here,
My target,
and he can't
so
afford to let himself
Where's
get
my
captured. So he has
Well,
basically
and-
one turn
and,
before he has to
importantly,
evacuate.
denied me the points for
And
having him in
furthermore,
my-
his defenses have thinned
Yep.
around
Patroclus,
his
he did a
last
thing.
agent.
Yeah, so, and you've got 2 consoles to my 1 moment. So the last turn. So think about
Earlier,
it,
this
going
was
to
Aleph's game to lose, and now this is the combined
Right
armies
here,
game
but-
to lose.
There's a lie.
But he's still got a fully operational avatar, which is a hell of a thing.
It is a hell of a thing.
PC and the Tron. That's good.
Perhaps it is time for
I
the
would not have been able to
Gyro88
gut
shard to
the
take
Taliban
complete
because of
control.
kind of
Yeah.
everything,
To
so I
take the
can't
field.
escape it. So he'll stay there. Alright, so how do I get myself to win this game?
So he's got
That's
2
the question we're always
lieutenant
asking
orders
ourselves.
Up to 3.
and 7.
I got very lucky there not to
Orders.
get substitute try. It didn't come up much. It took you an order, I guess. But now you would have had Patroclus as well. Which
Yeah, it
was
would have been nice
fine.
to just run him up there and get down, but not a huge deal, I think. I'd like to get some more.
I mean, he's basically got 9 orders if he, you know,
but
because
he's
he's got
pretty
the
likely
he's
to
got
just
the
get more
command
consoles
token to
anyway,
spend
so maybe I shouldn't
on
bother.
the irregular.
He does, and I
Um,
think that'll be enough to snap up a console and make a move on that last Civ.
Right, because if
After
he
all,
kills
I-
that last civ, he goes ahead.
And I don't think that that proxy can stand up against the might of an Avatar or even a Caliban.
Actually winning because you've got more activated consoles and you've got the same number of targets.
Players are
Um,
currently talking about the scoring, so
And of course, you know, this
Gyro
is
is-
happening in our time. This is taking minutes, but in like artificial intelligence time, this is taking nanoseconds for them
Exactly.
to come up with this.
well, that's kind of the thing is, you know, Infinity games are 3 rounds.
So it
I always
seems
kind
like
of picture what's
have
actually
to-
happening in the field being like 30
I
seconds.
actually
Yeah,
have to
totally. It's
end
like
up with
it's
more
all happening
consoles.
before like emergency
To win.
services respond.
No other way. if I'm doing this
Exactly.
right.
Threat level infinity,
Seems a
the
little
shadow
tricky.
conflict. None of these military actions are
Uh,
legitimate.
Well played, read the mission. Good call. That was fast. I was thinking through what I should have done different.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, Impetuous, Dadarazzi
Oh, we do have another
So-
Dadarazzi making a move.
for the territories. I don't think anyone can see
Who's probably pissed that his other Dadarazzi got the glory.
there.
You know
But-
what he's real pissed about is that his other Dadarazzi didn't recognize that was Patroclus, and then Patroclus got conked out by the EI itself.
That's right.
Which
Instead of killed in glorious hand-to-hand combat.
He will just keep running.
Well, I mean, the EI itself did kill him in hand-to-hand combat, but that's almost sacrilegious because the EI is just a
Similarly
perfect.
with this Taiga,
It's a
who
perfect
everything
impartial
he did.
intelligence that has absolutely no appreciation
Right.
Oh, yeah,
for
did
the
Ratzi
glory
with
of killing
oh.
someone in melee.
Even if I would have got the Caliban, Dadarazzi would have done it.
There's something extra insulting for a Dadarazzi to have to see Patroclus himself being killed in melee
Alright,
combat
I will
by a
just
being that
keep
can't
running
possibly
to
appreciate it.
4 to there.
You got it.
But the Dadarazzi can be used to screen the advance.
Well, I think the Gyro88 shard is just taking advantage of every possible order it can, right?
Very true.
Yep. So now it's used its impetuous orders. It's down to those 9. Although maybe it's got 10. I'm not sure what that. Oh yeah, it's got 10 because the Avatar also has a tactical awareness.
That
order.
provides its own,
I assume you're just thinking, but I can't hear you.
and of course it also
Yeah,
has its lieutenant
yeah,
order.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's got
this-
2 lieutenant
So-
orders.
When I hear
because of-
silences,
Yeah.
So he's
Because I previously
functionally got
activated these
12.
consoles, if I activate them again, I can't reveal your last one, right?
That's right.
It would just be to get the plane.
Oh, is that right? I don't know. Let's take a look. It could be
The
different.
evolved intelligence is currently
Uh,
weighing whether it can take a console back from
Yeah,
Aleph
I don't know.
to
Well,
reveal the final state.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I think
so
you could.
just in the points of scoring,
Really?
the question is whether he can.
Oh no, the console cannot be activated again by the same player to reveal another HVT, but if it gets flipped, maybe. Sorry, I didn't read far enough.
Yep.
So in other
the
words,
player
he can
just
he can
determine.
use that console to take it away from Aleph for the purpose of scoring, but it won't allow him
No,
to
reads like I don't
change it
think
to
I
a
can.
designate change the
Yeah,
last target to
I
a
agree with that. I
designated
think you
target.
could make the argument for it the other way, and if you wanted to, I'd say fine because I don't feel strongly about it. But
But of
I
course,
do
there's
concur that
a
it is.
big open
It just
console
says you
right
can
here.
activate
Yes.
console to activate another HVT.
But the problem is that would
Okay.
still give Aleph the
So,
advantage on the
point
number of
on
consoles
consoles.
activated. Yeah.
Plot out my turn.
Which is the advantage of going second in this mission.
Um,
Little
the tension
nanosecond
is
off
thick.
analysis. Yeah. Well, it's because right
Yeah, we
before
just
last
got
turn,
7
this was
specialists.
really in the combined armies side of the court, and it's suddenly become anyone's game,
Let's see how I'm gonna pull
or in this case, anyone's tactical ops assassination.
That's right.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a coordinated order. The Avatar, the Caliban.
You can't include the
Paparazzi.
avatar right now.
Oh, right, because I still haven't dropped the syncs.
As soon as you move out of
still
8, it
synced.
drops.
Yeah, so instead of doing that, I'll spend a tactical awareness order on
Yeah.
the Avatar.
Totally.
Yeah, sorry. So
No
you'll
worries.
just push up here. My arrows. Thing. And then I should be out of range now.
The Avatar is moving
So
forward
now coordinate
to
order, Avatar,
leave
Caliban,
its last protected
Paparazzi,
ward.
and
Unfortunately, having the evolved intelligence has all the care in the world, and in fact in the universe, for its subjects. But sometimes that means it must go in their stead to the battlefield.
Yeah, like Spock said, for the greater good, right? Sometimes sacrifices have to be
Paparazzi
made.
will go. Or will go.
But indeed, the evolved intelligence is taking the field in the form of our gyro shard on the Avatar's onboard
this thing, right?
computer.
There. So then we'll go to here. Hydron will go. Vault up the hedge onto the top of the box.
Cool.
And then
Now, is the Avatar itself a specialist? I assume it must
nears
be.
all that.
It has a little robot inside of it that can come out
Ah,
and press
keep
buttons and be a
moving.
specialist. Has like a little crab bot inside it. Like
Paparazzi
its
will run
chest
up and
piece
just wants to make sure
comes
he stays
off
out of
and becomes a
Robot
robot.
line of fire. I think he's good there.
but doesn't that include? Doesn't that have its intelligence within it though? So if that little robot gets shot, then
Yeah, then
the
the
whole thing
avatar
goes brain
dies.
dead.
Yeah.
Avatar will move up here, and I'm just gonna provisionally put him there. Just make
although that would
sure
be a
there's
hell of a
lot
deep
your
cover
recruiter
play
isn't
on the
anything.
part of Aleph if
Sure.
they've had Thermoptic
Okay.
watching. this whole time.
No doubt. Like what are those called? What are the Dacius, right?
Yeah,
Is that-
Dacia snipers.
Basically the Nagas
There.
with the thermo-optic
I'll slide
camouflage.
over there. Now
Now, you want a fun little fact
the,
about the
program.
Avatar.
Yep, here it
Sure.
comes. This is it. This is the little
Yep.
robot.
Little robot.
Staldron.
Look, 13. Really falls off.
Basically like
Oh no.
spiders down its leg onto the ground.
Okay. Try to go. Try it again.
Yes. A fun little fact about the Avatar.
There you go.
Is
I'm gonna guess this
it's
one.
actually not just one
You got
AI.
it. That is he's just a regular guy.
There are separate onboard artificial intelligences governing different parts of it, all of which
yeah,
are
I'm sure there's
taking the orders from the EI shard. So think of it like a Voltron with a bunch of little EIs in it. Like the gun is, you know, calling out, I've got threats at 6 and 3, and the right arm is going, Roger.
And this little Staldron, I'm sure, is
Yeah, it has its own voice
yeah.
as well.
Then I will.
By the same token,
And I think that's
then
that's
the regular order
modeled by
that-
the fact that the
Oh, I guess
Staldron, if you see, it has a
Okay,
whip
so
of
we'll do
13,
it, run again.
whereas most
Yeah.
like human
the
sphere
Saga-
versions of that have a whip of 12.
Wait, no. You have flashback.
Yep, it's fully intelligent. Another fun fact about the
I
Avatar, and this is
will-
actually something where, Mimetism 6, it used to be called ODD for Optical
And
Disruption
a
Device,
visitor-
and it was like specifically like a thing. It was a device that existed in the setting. But something I've always kind of liked for the Combined Army, and to a lesser extent Hawk and Toha, because a lot of Hawk and Toha is biotechnology rather than conventional technology, is that Infinity will often use the same rules to reflect. Infinity will use the same rules to reflect technology that has the same in-game
okay, so
effect.
order on the Avatar,
So although
right?
you're at a -6 to hit the Avatar, and you're at a -6 to hit,
away.
say, a Locust, it's not actually
And
the same
we'll
thing.
go-
It's not the same camo. I think the Avatar's optical
So your first
quote-unquote
skill is
optical
to
disruption
get in?
device is really badass.
No, it's-
because what it actually is
It's to
it's like a
move,
starship
Okay.
gravity generator
but in
on
moving, I
board
activate the
that
main profile,
bends
right?
bullets
I have no
around.
idea.
This is like a
I'm-
black
I'm
globe
trying to
force
learn.
field from
So if
Traveler.
he's just in base to base,
Nice.
he can just pick him up.
Yeah, no, the
I
Avatar
think
is the whole
actually
fiction
it's-
on
it's
it is
different with the remote
badass
pilot, but
because
I
it is,
should be
of
able to
course,
automatically
the
remove it.
single most expensive unit in the entire game.
Cool.
So anyway, okay, so I will just back up to here, I believe.
Don't imagine that this
Good deal.
don't imagine this designated target is gonna be having a good day very
No, and I think that it's a human. I don't.
soon. Yeah.
You know, I think these designated targets
Yeah, I
from
guess
Aleph
that's a good
are actually humans. I don't think they're androids. So
You know,
I think it's
okay.
really regretting right now. It's it thought that it was getting a great job with Aleph.
Sorry.
It was really excited when its resume got accepted, but right now she's not very happy at
that.
all.
Goes back here. Instead of that, I will go. Cross.
She really just wanted to make marijuana
Smart.
deliveries, and
See your flash spot?
she'd
Can't
never
see the
expected to just get lit up by an avatar.
Oh.
You know, it does occur to me
This-
that
you're
with
talking
this
this
sort
guy,
of quasi-narrative bat rep
You know what?
format,
He is
this would be a
gonna
good
shoot you.
excuse for me
Bet
to,
on
now
it
that
too.
everything's reopening,
Oh,
to
warm
dust
up.
off
no.
my
He's he's on a
narrative
5.
campaign laurels.
I
Yeah,
can get him from outside of 8.
absolutely.
Although
Okay, I'm gonna
actually, if I do
while,
that,
while the
I'll
avatar
probably-
blows her away, I'm gonna head to the bathroom again before
get him
the
outside of
before
eight.
the turn changes, and I'll be right back.
The denouement.
Yes.
All right,
Probably not.
see
both,
you soon.
So I'll just get him out of cover.
Oh.
Fine.
Yeah, it's the same.
Interesting.
Here's a 5. Nope. Close.
This is-
Crit and 3. No, you're
yeah,
minus 3. Okay, so 3 hits.
The avatar has just lit up our designated target here,
Surprisingly, he did not survive.
who has of course been swept off the face of the earth by a
Gives you another point.
multi-HMG.
So, unfortunately,
So I
not
have
gonna
no
do
great
it.
upset to report to
On
Chad
the
there. That was
Taliban.
almost a
gonna
foregone
move
conclusion,
pretty much
but
to
of
the
course
second one.
nothing is truly a
So
foregone
doing this
conclusion in Insanity.
Okay.
Another order on him. Come and I'm actually gonna go on this side.
Interesting to see the
David.
Caliban out on the board,
Right.
but it's more order efficient than using the
Button.
Okay. I'll try to
avatar
spotlight you as
to
well.
take the consoles.
Okay. That's good for range. Oh yeah. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So then I realized. Okay. Well, anyway, so I get the thing, which is nice, but probably not relevant. Or enough is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I hear you.
And got left 3 orders. No way to reliably kill specialists so that you cannot flip at least one of those consoles back. I think what I have to do
Some
is
seriously
spend-
realpolitik strategy here.
Yeah, I'm back.
Uh,
So I assume
well-
she died. Yeah, she's completely off the
She's-
board.
She is toast. Yeah, no surprises going up against that Avatar multi-HMG, the single most expensive gun in the game. For a designated target with a handgun. The Caliban has taken the center console, although right now the Gyro shard is trying to decide
Yeah, I'm not sure
whether
there's
it would
anything I
be
can really
more
do here,
effective
but,
to take the third console or try to camp out guns ablazing to see about denying consoles to the
Yeah,
enemy.
let's see how many orders. Well, he's still got. Well, he's got 2 orders left. It looks like. Well, oh no, he can't. He can't transfer because he used his last command token for a coordinated
Rule
order.
number 1 is believe in your dreams.
I have just accidentally briefly picked up a limit rebut. I'm just gonna hope that they didn't notice.
The game will hinge on the hand of the narrator picking up the.
Yeah, this poor little guy right there. Well, and I do believe
Now they've
that-
got us muted, so they're probably thinking that you like
Mm.
came up with some master plan of what they could do with that with that robot.
I don't think there's anything I can do, but we will spend the Tiger's irregular.
Tiger's moving up just to be a
We will
nuisance.
go.
They are the absolute epitome of a nuisance.
Way.
I wonder if he's just trying to kill some orders,
I'm not
make
sure.
it harder for Methuselah. Because he's definitely got the lead now. He's got more consoles
does.
and he's got more
I will go this way.
more
Yes.
targets.
Dodge. Dodge. Okay, proxy mark 5's dodge. It's a fail. Probot's dodge. Also a fail.
The regular order.
The Tiger's
Yeah.
advancing up and it's hungry for some proxy.
Yep.
And
Ah, don't eat that. It's full of machine parts.
Oh, I should have spotlight you too. Foolish. Okay, anyways.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I can't win. But like
You're like measuring from the plant, not where you were.
yeah.
Oh, going right past.
4 points.
Yeah, it's got no wounding in cap, so I can see how it's thinking. Go kill something that's an actual order, maybe.
Although, doesn't that SMG have a shock profile?
Yeah,
Or
it
is that
does.
different?
No, it does.
The fact that I can't reach CC with you is pretty annoying.
Oh, I think
Super
he's.
genius play.
Oh, he's trying to take out
Yeah.
McCown,
Yeah, pretty much.
the doctor.
I think it's effectively going to decide the game.
Where is
Yeah.
McCann? Oh, there he is.
well,
Yeah.
Easily.
Oh,
So
yeah.
anyway, I'll just
That-
run the stagger to here.
Because the
and-
thing is, if
Yeah.
Shoot
McCown
you
can
with a
get
shock
to
round.
the
Flash pulse you.
unconscious Aleph
Spotlight through
HVT,
this repeater.
Okay.
Dodge. The
Then
repeater and Machion
he
will
can
also
swing the
dodge.
game.
I will dodge as well. One.
Well, but he'll also need to take
for
a
magic
console.
crit. No.
This is
There's a spotlight.
this is gonna be rough
Gets you.
for
Here's a
Aleph
shot on a 16.
because Aleph is gonna need to take
Gets you a
a
shock round.
console back from the
Dodge.
combined army, and they're
Gets it. Machion dodge.
well, no.
Okay.
If they can take a console
First
back,
shock round.
Aleph
What else
has
is
this in the
coming
bag.
Flash pulse?
Yes.
So he bounces
No,
the
never
shock
mind.
round.
Never mind.
That's it. So
He does bounce the shock round. Yeah, no. Aleph needs to
yeah, that's
both
fine. Okay.
pick up that civ or kill the other
Okay.
civs and take a console.
Just gonna move up 2.
So this is going to be rough for Aleph. It's a good move to try to take out their most prominent remaining specialist.
Yeah.
Be in the room.
I mean, Machion is the man, right? Because he's got the the eclipse smoke and
Yeah, he does. He has the capacity to do it. because it means that he can move up He can move up to that console basically unmolested.
yeah. But he's kind of like stuck in a corner.
He
So
really
that's
is.
actually a good play with that Taiga,
Taiga.
as you would expect from a gyro shard, right? He's got him cornered in there with a chain rifle.
And he's also got that restrained but very present aggression.
Yes.
There's basically just nothing I can do here.
And false modesty there, trying to
Okay, so the
lull
Avatar is
Methuselah
going
into a sense of hope.
move up
Well, that is classic combined
to the
army.
corner of this
Is,
box.
let your opponent have hope so that you may dash it.
That just makes
to your flash
victory more delicious.
Cool.
It makes victory
I will
more
try to
delicious,
oblivion you
and of
through
course,
this
the
probot.
combined army
and I will
needs
flash pulse you
species
through the
with
flash
a
pulse.
capacity to think irrationally.
We'll shoot your flash pulse spot.
That's of course the problem with the Morats. That's why it just uses them for soldiers. They're
Very
just
good.
perfect psychopaths. They're of no
Fine.
value
Range,
for
so that 9 will
computer
crit,
thought patterns.
and 3 other
Cool.
hits.
It
Let's
needs
do
to
it.
think like an
And,
organic. And
thinking that we are in range. Close
organics
oblivion.
have that delicious,
Action.
the delicious
Not that it
failing
matters.
that is hope.
Here, the Oblivion. Gets you, and then here is my 3 armor saves.
I am isolated.
And I tank like a champion.
Wow.
Oh, goodness.
Serious?
What?
Unreal.
Wow.
Just unreal.
God.
Yeah. Like, that's not crazy significant, but that's amazing. And maybe it will be.
My God, you've made every save.
Did you tank your Oblivion?
I did not. He's isolated.
Does not matter. He's still gonna
Yeah.
get his thing. Okay.
Well,
well,
liveliest avatar.
okay, coming back to.
So
coming
the
back to me,
avatar has
I'm
been
gonna spend
cut
my last
off
command token to
from
move
the
that
EI
non-dead/bot into
net.
group 1.
But
Exactly what I was trying to
It does mean
avoid.
they lost a lieutenant, but of
It's
course that was the
unreal.
last combined
I
army.
mean, I would have
turn.
understood if, like, you know, the 0 range cover and mimetism put me on bad enough mods that I just, like, only hit once or something.
But he tanks
But-
3, yeah. It's very
Wait,
All
unlucky.
no.
those hackers.
Wait, how many saves did you
Oh,
make?
I only
3?
took 3. Yeah, I only took 3. Yeah, here's another one.
There's 2 more because you crit and hit 3 more times.
You only hit 3 times, right? Oh, you're right. So he's unconscious.
Okay.
That one.
Goodness.
Good call. Good call.
Right.
Sorry.
So there's
I
at
still
least
have a
some
command.
justice in the world there for the Avatar.
And
Yeah.
then a regular there then. So I will use that to great efficiencies, no doubt.
So let's look at the order pool of Aleph now.
So let me get rid of that and actually get in a regular and just drop it next to him. And oh, he's not. He's not. Sorry, he's dead. I'm sorry. I'm way off
It's
here.
still pretty robust.
Skin
But
late for me.
this is gonna be
9
this
orders.
is gonna be a hell of a run
That's
for
enough, I
Makion.
think. Let me
So
just
I
knock this
don't.
out
Let me
real
look at the just because it matters. Let me look at the win conditions for this, the scoring options. So
quick. I think I can just even click this one with my proxy. I'll just go camo and he'll have 2 rolls on 18.
so unmasking.
Oh shit, you're right.
So, but that one's less fun.
So they
I'm not gonna
both
do that
killed
one.
the enemy designated
'Cause,
target.
yeah, he'll
So they
just
both
use
had
his
3
camo and then I have
points.
9 orders. Just basically walk in
They
there,
both.
go prone. You have 2 discoveries on me here.
Methuselah
3
has
camo
killed
in case you get me.
1 target
back off
decoy
and
for
click
1
it.
point,
But
so he's
that is
got
not a fun
4.
thing,
And
so let's do it
Gyro88
anyways.
has killed 2, so he's
Uh,
got 5.
Proxy mark 5.
Gyro has killed
walk up
more
to your,
enemy decoys, so he's
okay.
got 6. So currently it's 6 to
I got you
4.
right there.
No problem.
But
Proxies
if
know
And-
that their
that,
bodies are
if that cultist leader over there can get picked up,
The Avatar.
And he has
then
more.
that
So
swings.
so
will
at
be
the
a
end of the
little
game have the same number of activated consoles,
So
but they
just,
won't.
check
But
out
at the end of the game have
Pokemon.
more activated consoles as
And
2.
Tiger will
So it's
dodge.
currently 8 to
I'm gonna
4.
put 4 into your tiger.
But if Methuselah
I will be
Dodge.
4.
swaps one of the consoles, it would be 6 to 6. And as you point out, if he picks up the cultist leader,
BT.
he will end up
is
winning.
dead.
Oh my gosh, it was so close though.
there is a road
He's even
for
armor.
Methuselah to
Okay.
pull this through.
He would've-
Yeah, there's a fairly. It looks like, to
Explosive
me at
outcome,
least, a
I
fairly
think.
easy road to a tie and a possible road to a win.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, he does have that eclipse
Let's see.
smoke to
Armor 3
help
against damage
get him
16.
to those consoles. But of course, he does have to contend with that
dead.
Dodarazi.
So the proxy made a move and
Did
went
everything
dead
you
and
do.
paid with it for
Uh,
his life.
I will spend a.
Although the proxy just
lieutenant
jumped
order.
into one of the other bodies.
Makian.
Yep.
And now we're
Still,
moving
though.
out with Machion.
So 1.4.
Yeah. Still though, that was
Sacrificing the proxy's
yeah.
L host, very expensive L host body to kill a Taiga.
Armor place right now.
Yeah, it was an exchange that needed to happen,
Okay,
but I
thank you
don't
for
imagine
that.
he's feeling great about it.
Arrows.
I don't think I'm close enough.
Okay.
Just 'cause
and he has
those are,
stealth in case.
Those are orders that Makion could be using himself.
Yep, exactly.
Has chain rifles and grenades. So I'm just gonna go ahead and walk across his path.
He does also have a heavy pistol.
You'd have to
Makion's
crit me.
currently figuring out his vector
That'd be
of
interesting.
attack.
So let's make it happen.
Okay. I
Although
will take that.
the
heavy
question
pistol
is
shot.
Methuselah
I'm gonna just
remembering
walk up close to you with a.
the
Well, I don't actually
Noctifer
get in
missile
range, so, like,
launcher
when I cross your
up
path, I'll
on
be here, I guess.
the rooftop over
And
here?
then there's 2.6.
Oh
and
yeah,
then
good
1.4.
call. The Shazvasti.
Because
Okay.
if
so
I was Makion right now,
that's 3 and then just.
I
one up.
wouldn't want to move out without that cover of smoke.
Cool.
It looks like he is
Yeah,
managing to
that's
slice
cool.
the pie on the Dodarazi, though.
What was I thinking? I should have dodged. Okay. Next order.
Just outside of 8, so it's actually on 5.
Okay. Oops, I can't see anyone, so I'm just gonna walk up to this where I can't see your dead Radzi.
Okay,
Just
no,
kinda
he
measuring
is.
weird.
He's just
Okay,
going for the
movement from
smoke
that, but
crossing,
I'm just gonna go
which
to the
is
wall where I
a
can't see
smart
you.
move. It's what I would have gone for too.
Arrows.
I'll attempt to dodge with the Avatar, and oh,
If
sorry,
he can
are
throw
you
it up
stealth?
in such a way that he can just sort of daisy chain up to the console, then that'll be a good
Dodge the
move on his
Avatar
part.
And dodge the Dodarazi.
It doesn't appear that he has a. It doesn't appear that he has a Yud bot attached to him, a helper bot. If he had, he could be moving that up to heal the to heal the cultist leader.
Dodge.
Oh my God! Did he just fail his?
Yeah,
smoke
he
throw?
failed his
Avatar
smoke.
dodge.
Oh my goodness!
Fail, probably?
Aleph to be undone by random chance at this point.
Ooh, did he fail his dodge too?
definitely.
Well, but he's been
Oh,
getting
11
random
not
chance
closer.
has been in his favor,
Okay,
right?
so you did Razi.
Razi will dodge.
Although
He will dodge.
that avatar did just soak a ton. Oh, and now
Now the
Markion has
Dotarazi
to-
is seeing glory in its eyes. It
That's
can
enough
win
Orion
this for
Mechanion
the
to-
EI.
Idle.
This is a rough
And this is a
situation for Aleph to
potential
be
like
in.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, he'll actually run away from you for a bit because you have 3 inches of movement.
And this is a potential you know, this is almost
I will
a
dodge
sentient
with the Dotarazi
creature to kill.
And with the avatar.
make
I'll
him.
I
shoot you.
think, yeah, well, he is. He's lived a full life in
Yeah.
simulation.
That's not great.
I crit you and hit you twice more.
I have mimetism, so.
Oh,
crit him.
then I crit you and I hit you once.
So
Should we
this
say it's
Dotarazi is
Dotarazi?
about to have a bad day, but
he's
he
dead.
may have done the crucial work
Okay.
that
Yeah.
the Dotarazi would
Yeah.
not consider it crucial work to die to stall the Steel Phalanx's
Yeah.
doctor.
Yeah, no
but
kidding.
1.1 or 2.1
but now he
0.9.
must contend with the Noctifer.
arrows. Oh, I didn't know those guys were. Sorry. Let me back up. Appreciate that. I'm gonna just come in and check my smoke again.
Machion attempting
Good
a
luck, the
smoke
Avatar
throw to get up to tie the game.
Oh.
But winning it, winning it's just going to be a matter of does he have the orders to get over to that civilian.
What's interesting
He's
is
doing it.
Gyro, yeah, which makes
this
sense.
time
Gyro
from Gyro88
88
itself.
shard is dodging with the avatar instead of
1.1.
resetting, which makes complete
And,
sense because resetting doesn't do him any good.
0.9 gets me there. Okay, this is just a move,
He's
but
just
still.
trying to get everything he has into the fight to
Yeah.
Another
lock
order
down
to click
Aleph.
that button.
Alright, that's game. Unless
So-
you think you can get my last guy.
Machion's flipped the
No, but I
console.
think I can get your avatar. For
Oh, I did dodge, so.
It sounds
reverse
like
course abruptly.
it sounds like he may have actually forgotten about the fact that he
spin
can
an
pick
order.
up this.
Yeah, he may
Yeah,
have,
with the edge of smoke.
or maybe he just doesn't have the orders to do it. Yeah, he's only got 2 orders left after
Arrows.
this.
Oh, he only has
so you're
2.
not-
Then
Yeah.
yes, it's impossible.
Correct.
He can't.
So I think it's going to end up a tie, but I may have
dodge
miscalculated the win conditions.
I fell.
Good Mechion.
Machion's making an attempt
dodge.
on the avatar. Doesn't look like it's going to
How did you out?
end in success
Yeah,
though.
dodge
Directly
me.
Yeah, he's got him isolated from the
Okay,
EI
well, this is
shard,
nonsense,
so he's
now we're
trying.
going for it.
You know,
Okay.
maybe
the
this
order.
has all been a plan from Aleph
Come in.
to capture a shard of the EI.
Explosive. Right.
No, he only has double action now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, Scepter and Missile without template.
That's it.
I'll dodge.
Machion's gonna have to roll.
Can't go
Oh,
ahead.
he's
No, I gotta hit
dodging.
you. Whatever. I gotta hit you. We'll see what happens.
No,
Here's
he's
my
going
attack.
for the swing. He's
Yeah.
going for the swing.
I think a 9 will probably miss because we're in 0 range.
Remember to in ODD or -6. Here's my hit. On a 20 or
Yeah,
something.
he's taking the swing.
Does not, so just double action.
Yep, he's not going to be able to kill him because he didn't crit.
Wow. Word.
Does do 2.
Although it
Two
does
wounds.
do 2 wounds though. Yeah.
2 wounds.
Okay, and here's my substitute. Back yeah. Make a hero out of yourself. Oh,
Oh
yes.
my God.
Oh my God!
He activates
Wow. The phalanx are just bouncing these
again.
sepsis.
You want to shoot when in
I'm-
close combat?
I will CC. I would literally would just 100% of the time and pull up the avatar. It'd be hilarious.
Avatar is making
you
up
gotta
for
move.
Patroclus going
The
down in
avatar
close
will
combat
succeed,
with the avatar.
And, the Noctifer will. I'll look out.
I think the
Okay,
problem with the
I will,
avatar,
CC you.
I think that
CC?
he wants the.
I miss.
I hit you.
Avatar. Nope, you got him.
Oh,
Avatar is
that's the stuff.
done.
That's the good feeling, and that's
Now-
not sort of.
Now this pose is super appropriate. Doing like the
Let's
he's doing
go
like
look
the
at
Dark
the
Souls,
pose.
you know, like how about it, you know?
Yeah, so you got him.
Well, the mnemonic will go into.
Well, of course, the Avatar's
this Caliban.
its personality
he just grows
immediately
like he,
hops over.
the Matrix or something.
Well, okay, well played. I
6-5,
think you did.
right?
Let's
So
see,
they're
you
calling it
had
6-5.
Oh, I think I think
No,
I
no,
may have
6-6, I think
miscalculated
so.
because he loses the point for losing the thing. I think that may be right.
No, I think you won for sure.
So
Yeah,
kill
it's
the
just-
so they each get
because
3 for
you
the
have
designated target.
3 plus 1 plus 2. That's 6. And I had 3 plus 1.
3 plus 2. Oh, so 5. Yeah, because you killed 2.
Oh, I did kill 2. Yeah, you're right. So 6-5.
So
Um,
interesting.
so-
Did the console
Yeah, well
swing the
played.
game
I
here?
think you did
They-
a really good
They did
job
swing the game
of
because
hiding on this table, which I didn't think was really going to be feasible.
they both killed the
I,
designated
thought
target, which
you,
is
like,
3
After
each.
first turn, I was like, wow, I'm really behind here. He's just guarding 2 dudes. with
Gyro88
his,
killed
Avatar.
2 decoys,
I'm not
which
really
is
gonna
2,
kill
so
the
that's up
Avatar.
to
One and
5
one.
to 3.
So
And then
how do I get that? I think I got
one
super.
decoy.
I think everything up until that point
Methuselah
where I got
killed
how you
one
pass the
decoy
census
for
turn and
one.
everything else.
And then
Right.
was
It was
it
a super lucky
2
turn
for
for
having
me.
more consoles?
Everything
2
else
for
after that,
having
I
more
think I was
consoles,
controlling okay
and
with,
1
like,
for
the
having more
smoke and
decoys.
dodge
So that's
moves.
why it ended up 6 to
And then
5.
blowing up your guy was a good play.
Gyro
But then
got
play
the
after
more
that, I also
decoys,
misplayed. I didn't realize
and
you could kill me.
Methuselah got the
should've just
more
CC'd you to-
consoles.
To mud you up, because then I'd be dodging on 13s and moving 4 inches every time. So even if you're trying to get your Caliban in, I'm just running away from you.
This didn't
like a
didn't
jerk,
shake out quite the
just
way
a
I
sandbag.
expected.
But
Yeah,
you
I
could have
thought
definitely
that
killed me
I thought the
enough
combined
CC
army was in
awesome
the
guys that could
driver's
just
seat the
run
whole
into and
time.
explode me,
That
but you would've
Patroclus
just
run
taken
was
orders.
really
Yeah,
You,
it would have taken
uh,
a lot.
It was a
Amazing.
game winner.
You
Yeah.
aptly
We
figured. I
can
didn't
now
even think
demonstrably
about
say it was a
clicking
game
buttons
winner.
for the win. I didn't realize that was a thing in this
and
mission.
I will
But that's
will
pretty powerful for
nominate
going second,
Patroclus
although I
as
thought
game
this
MVP.
particular mission
Oh,
favored going first.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no,
sadly,
I
the
when sort
Dotarazi,
of presented with your deployment, I didn't
who got-
think
who
it
got
that much. I should
nanopulsed.
have deployed the Greif down here and just gone right. I know you would have counter deployed and everything.
I would just put the Mark V here, and then I had the Liberto here.
Oh, that's right. That's why I
So-
didn't do that.
so we'll hang around for a little post-game strategy that these guys talk about.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean,
Very
yeah,
close
you
game.
did
Wow,
a
that
really
was a
good job of
great
hiding it
game. I
and
hope you
not
guys
spaced
enjoyed
out.
it. I absolutely
was-
did.
It was
Maybe I should've just
swinging
taken the
too.
chance.
Like,
Yeah,
I was
really
not,
That wouldn't
swinging.
have
I was
killed the
I was
property
not
if I had-
expecting that.
Though even if you
First
you would
got
just put it
You've
I would've
you've
put it-
turned
if
their
you would've
volume
discovered-
up.
declare discover. I would just put it 10.
No, I've always had their volume up. but
Right, well,
I think
that-
they
that
have
actually
us
would've
on.
been
I think
okay
they probably
with.
have us muted.
Really, because
I've had them on like
then I would shoot you 3
30%,
times and probably trade.
just to be aware when they're
Um,
talking.
Yeah, that would be
Whereas
fine.
if you
'Cause
had contested it, you might have actually beat me because I would have been on 311s versus your
oh, good point.
or your 16.
I'd be at 19. I'd be just +3.
I was
6.
surprised.
No. Oh, you're surprising. Good call.
Hell of a game.
Yeah, I had considered you bringing the Avatar, but I thought more likely that you bring the Sphinx. Just thinking about you playing. And I had built a list to fight the Avatar, which was a lot more. It had a picture and more hacking presence. But I just didn't. It didn't look fun to me. So I want to play it. I want to play Patrick. I want to play Patrick, please, because
No, I will say,
I think
where
he's
I,
overcosted,
where I a
but
bit
he
more awake.
looks. He brings
I
like
think
so
I'd
many
be
tools.
coming
He's
up with a
specialist
Yeah,
situation
smoke.
in which
It's really interesting.
we describe this victory,
McKenna's
especially how
McKenna's really
OPN
good. Right.
That's a good
represented in
point.
Myrmidon
I couldn't
Wars.
reach CC with
But
him.
unfortunately, I'm adjusted to an
Huge, because
East
if I
Coast
could,
schedule.
right,
so
I
for
would've
me,
just
it's
run over
1 in
there.
the morning right now.
And attack
All
him
right,
with,
well,
like,
I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I want to
Exactly.
thank Methuselah and I want to thank
And that probably would have
Gyro88
won me the game.
for playing a great
It would've-
game.
yeah.
That was
I would have
really
to go
fun.
It was
No, I
to
had four
watch.
orders.
I want to thank
'Cause I would have 3
Liam
veterans
for
and
your awesome descriptions
Five
of
orders.
the
You do
of
have
the
the
lore.
demo.
This was a
Yeah.
ton of
I would
fun.
have, I would have to click.
And
something
hopefully we
5
can do
orders.
this
I would have to click
again,
the middle
man.
button 5 orders
Hell
with this
yeah,
guy, which means
dude.
I'm
I
just
would love
hoping that
that.
you don't hit me.
All right,
I
man.
don't
I'm
think he has the
ending the
movement to
stream
get there.
now.
Yeah.
Goodbye, everybody.
It
I
was
hope you guys
wonderful.
enjoyed this as much as we did.